Dave Woloshin, weekday mornings from 10 to 11. It's time for Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. The first hour of Sports Time is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you on a Wednesday afternoon. Connor producing for us. We're Sports Time. We're with you for the next 3 hours. A lot to get to over these next 3 hours, as it has been a very newsy day, especially here locally, even going back to last night when we got some Tiger basketball scheduling news. So a lot to get into over the next 3 hours. We'll talk some football, a lot of football this afternoon. We'll talk some baseball. We'll talk some golf with some big golf news earlier this morning for the city of Memphis. We'll also do our weekly segment with John Goen, make some picks as one tournament until we everyone comes here for the FedEx St. Jude Championship. But Brett, how are you this afternoon?
Brian, doing well. We'll make those picks at 4 o'clock with John and talk the Wyndham, and the Wyndham's up in the air about its future. And Brian, I'm doing well, except for the really bad news this morning about the future of the Memphis Golf Tournament, an event that we all, a lot of us, have really enjoyed and loved so much. I'm looking very forward to next week being out there for my 39th in some shape, form, or fashion of going to the golf tournament. Yeah. And then that's next week. And then next year I'll be going, I hope, to my 40th, and it sounds like my final one, because I don't see any real avenue for an event after next year, whether it's, in April or in the fall. I saw in the fall. You want to draw nobody out there in the fall, try going up against a weekend of college football. Oh, yeah. And so that's not going to happen, and I don't think anything with FedEx involved is going to happen in the future after next year, and I can't blame them because it's sure not their fault. I would dare say since the mid-'80s to late '80s, FedEx has been any low side $800 million, high side $1.5 billion on the PGA Tour, and it's barely getting Derek Jeter's gift basket on the way out. Yeah. And if you need to know what that means, hit Derek Jeter in gift basket, and you can get the clarification on it. They're barely getting a thank you on the way out, and it's deplorable on a lot of levels. And Bryant, through the years on things that we didn't get in Memphis, or we had and we lost, or we were close to getting and it didn't work out. Some of those were maybe unfair, but you could kind of see as why. And we could go through the whole litany of them, but people know what they are. But this is one that I truly don't understand the why. And we got the first hint of it. Remember back in January, when we had on, we will have Rex Hoggard from the Golf Channel on with us next week. I think we're going to have Rex on Wednesday at 5 o'clock, when he wrote the story for golfchannel.com about the reimagining of the PGA Tour for 27. If you remember, Brian, the first stories, the roll-up Tiger Woods as well. I'm hearing Brian Rollap's name thrown around a lot. Don't eliminate, don't excuse, don't exclude Tiger from this. I know he's been on the shelf the last few weeks because he's trying to get clean, dry, and sober after yet another rollover. Because Tiger's had about as many rollovers as he has as he's won majors in the last few years. But Tiger Woods right in there. And if anybody doesn't think Tiger Woods has pure contempt for Memphis in this tournament, I give you this example. He never put a tee in the ground to play one shot in it. So we got that news from Rex back in January that they were going to try this for next year, but the tour here and other places held Rollap and Tiger to existing contracts, both for events and for TV. Well, not even the power of Rollap, fresh from Park Avenue in the NFL office and kneecapping everybody and always getting your way, and Tiger, who has really never kept his word on anything other than being one of the first or second greatest players ever. That contracts didn't mean anything to those two, but they ran into almost an immovable object. And I don't think that they liked people that kind of fought them on it, was what I'm getting from a lot of people, that they didn't like that Memphis and FedEx and Southwind and other factors fought them on it, and we're going to hold them to, you're playing this year and next year. Well, that's what we're going to have, and then sadly, that's where it's going to end.
Yeah, no, I mean it's really unfortunate news. Obviously, you've had the announcement for now about a month of the different tiers starting in 2028, and even before that, we knew that something like that was coming, and so always the hope was it felt pretty certain that Memphis was not going to be a part of the postseason for the tour, but the hope was remain a signature event. It sounded like sometime in the spring, but remain a signature event after they announced, or at least after we learned about the tiers. Stay on that championship tier, and kind of still have a really nice field for the golf tournament. So the news today that it's not even going to be a part of that really is the part that I think hurts a lot of people, because I think you'd be fine as one of those signature events, quote unquote signature events, but on that championship tier. And so the fact that it's not going to be there, really disappointing to hear.
It is, and almost cruel on a day that lives while the Memphis golf tournament is when the doctor walked in and said, cut the machines off.
Yeah, weird how newsy it's been in the golf world today, and kind of
lives while the FedEx St. Jude Championship will cease to exist after this year and next year. And also almost too cruel that something that we have feared and kind of mostly have known for weeks, months even, Bryant, would you say?
In terms of known what?
That something was going to happen with our tournament.
Oh, we've known for months, plural. I mean, it's been that's been kind of out there for a while.
They can't wait 2 weeks. They got to do it right here on the eve of it.
That's the biggest thing about it.
It's a real cheap shot.
Yeah.
And what that does, and I hope I am very wrong about this. I hope I am very wrong about it. Not only for next week, but for sure next year. Well, for years with FedEx and what they had spent and how they had treated people, on the tour so very well, and how the money they spent and how they wanted every event to go off just right. I know a lot of people at FedEx and that sports marketing department that's their jobs. I mean, their job is to work with the PGA Tour, and they do it well, and they do it with every fiber of their being to make it go off well. For a lot of those years, you had that as kind of the hammer. Well, all right, I'm going to play in Memphis, even though I'm probably already qualified for next week at the BMW, and I'm probably already qualified even for Atlanta. But Mr. Fred Smith and his family and his employees and his stockholders, they've been really good to me, and I don't want to get on the wrong side of them. They don't have that now. So with what Rory did last year, and what he's going to do again on Sunday night, I feel like this year, we will see if that opens door for a couple more to go, I don't really have that fear factor anymore. Maybe not as much this year, but let's watch it next year, because do they want to be here for the Playing Old Lang Syne next year?
That's a good question. And it'll be something that we'll definitely be, like you said, watching, especially for next year. I just feel like a lot of those golfers, it feels like they really enjoy, coming here, and obviously the work with St. Jude and stuff like that. I would hope that they would, especially guys that have been here year in, year out would continue to come here and come here for this year and next year. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely something to watch, because obviously with so many changing factors, golf's going to look a whole lot different in 2028. And so, we'll see if some of those guys say, why do I need to go here when I'm fine moving forward, and we know we won't be back here next year. So, good question.
And Rory really put it to us last year, and get ready to do it again this year. And we'll just see that if it's one or two more, it didn't happen last year because they didn't know what the future really was going to be like. But now they do. They have some clarity on it. What if it was a cascading effect of 4, 5, or 6 that's already set for Atlanta that they're getting ready to bulldoze it too? BMW week after next, the week between Memphis and the Tour Championship. But when the door gets open, we'll just see how many go through it. Maybe not as much to be fearful about this year as it is next year. But really, next year, what will be the incentive for those that are already in the Tour Championship to come here? Because we know they do not want to sweat one drop of sweat in an outdoor sport. And, Brian, it's another reason why I can't stand that garbage on TV in the wintertime at night, because that gave them an avenue. That gave them a chance of, I can play and I can make money and I can show pony on TV for a couple hours in a studio. I don't have to get out in like real conditions with real galleries and real people.
No.
Too antiseptic for me. I knew that was garbage.
No, and you're right. I mean, obviously that's the biggest thing you hear is the heat and guys being hot, and so obviously that was a factor.
And I'll tell people in those 39 next week, with 39 years of going and watching this tournament very closely, I'm going to say since Lee Trevino won it sometime in the 70s and was mesmerized, captivated by him and his style and his panache. So I know this tournament pretty well. I can't ever remember a time that we've had the tournament, whether it was Memorial Weekend or into June or for a few years, last week of July into August, then back to June. I can't ever remember a time that they didn't complain about the heat regardless of when we had the tournament. They complained about the heat in Memphis every single time.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. I mean, it's always there. It's always going to be kind of warm here in Memphis, no matter when you're here.
And you know who hates the heat as much as anybody is that permanent town-to-town golf media. That's who hates it as much as anyone, because they're not making winners or getting out there and sweating their ass off.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. So, yeah, I mean, it's obviously really, really sad news, and we'll see obviously what comes from this, but. It feels very hard to sell a tournament, sell anything on the, what are they calling it, the Challenger Series.
Let me tell you
really
what the names need to be for the new levels, and they've been all over the place on that. Remember, it was Tier 1, it was Tier 2, and it was Challenger, and it was something else. Now I think they're champions, and it's getting confused with the old guys out there trying to play. Here's the two levels: the one that matters and the one that doesn't.
No, it's basically what it was.
You might as well call that second level the Texas League, Double A, meaningless.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what it is. So the official names, the Championship Series and the Challenger Series. So if Memphis has a tournament in 2028 moving forward, it would be on the Challenger Series. And I don't know. I was trying to look earlier and I couldn't find an exact answer. I'm guessing they used the FedEx points to determine that, but it's like outside of the top 120. So I mean, I was going through the names in there, and there were a handful of names that you'd know, but other than that, it was a lot of kind of unknown and guys that you would be going out there and kind of learning their name for the first time.
And our event, when we went to August, to World Golf Classic, and then to the playoffs, to the big time, the step up for our event, the money levels for it, for sponsorship, for tickets, for everything, it went extraordinarily high. Everything did. I think a lot of people here locally didn't think we could do that, that it was probably too much to bite off. We've blown through it. We've blown through it, and we've blown through it with boots on the ground, with fans out there in the heat. We've blown through it with TV ratings. This is not one that Memphis swung and missed on. It is not.
No, it's definitely not. I mean, I think, ultimately this all comes down to FedEx and the PGA Tour, and what looks to be from all reports that FedEx not going to be that big time sponsor for the PGA Tour anymore, and because of that,
but I can't blame them.
No,
I can't blame them after you've spent whatever the number you want to grab out, whatever number you want to pick, and you basically get treated like this. Why would you want to go forward with that group as a business partner?
I mean, it's a lot of money to be putting into anything, and so looks like they're gonna step away from the PGA Tour, and it looks like the PGA Tour, in a big sense, gonna step away from Memphis. But we'll be out there next week. It's gonna be a great tournament, but it's gonna have a little bit of a cloud over it with this news breaking.
Well, I hope I don't see any of them sweating. Which is no need to be mad at the people that are going to be here next week.
No.
It's no need for that contempt. It's not. At least they're going to be here and try to be supportive. But number one is Rory McIlroy. You could be mad at.
Well, yeah, I guess that is. Yeah, he could be high on the list for people to be mad at.
Might be the only time he ever beat Tiger. Tiger might be too.
I was about to say, they could be both up there in that top grouping. But we'll talk more about this obviously at 4:00 when John Goen joins us. We'll talk a lot about it with him, but plenty to get to this afternoon. So let me set it up before we get to top and not top story of the day. 3:30, we're going to do another edition of Four Downs. We did Four Downs last week. Brett had the questions for us. Today, I will have the questions for us. We're going to take another stab at looking at schedules. I think this time we're a little more prepared for the schedule portion of Four Downs. All the math involved.
That got way off the rails.
Well, it did. But hey, that's what has to happen,
Radio and math is never added.
Never a good idea. But we're going to do it again. I think this time we're a little more prepared for it, but we'll do Four Downs in our next segment. 3:45, we'll talk some baseball as all teams were in action last night. Trick Skubal, his first start for the LA Dodgers. He looked good, but it was not a fun night for the Dodgers as they lose again.
Maybe the hardest I've ever pulled for the Cubs in my life.
Yeah, well, I don't think you're alone. I think most of baseball were
pulling for them now, up 6-1 over the Dodgers. Go Cubs, go! What's it? Do you know any more lyrics to that song?
Go Cubs, go! Go Cubs, go! Hey Chicago, what do you say? The Cubs are gonna win today. I mean,
against the Dodgers, I'll sing the song.
You got to, wave the W.
Against the Dodgers and Rory, I'll sing "Go Cubs, go."
Well, that'd be interesting, a Cubs versus Rory matchup. But I'd love to see it. But we'll talk a lot of baseball at 3:45, 4:00. Like I mentioned, John Goen from Timber Trust. He's gonna join us to talk some golf. We'll also make our picks for the Wyndham this weekend. 4:30, we'll talk some NFL as we're one day closer and one day away from the Hall of Fame game, but a whole bunch of news out there from training camps. We'll talk about that at 4:30. 4:45.
Head check tonight for two teams, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. Get in the hotels, make sure. Yeah, I don't know how strict they'll be ahead of the Hall of Fame game. Maybe stricter on some than others. But
I just got a text from a friend. I would much rather y'all be doing math and singing.
Oh man, that's too bad. I think I'm a pretty good singer, but maybe it doesn't come across right on radio. But we'll talk a lot of NFL at 4:30, 4:45. Big number of the day. 5:00. Craig Way, the voice of the Texas Longhorns. He's gonna come and join us. And we got the horns up from Brett. That's a very rare horns up.
Horns up
from Brett. I love it. I mean, preseason, all the hype. You got to have the horns up. So Craig Way gonna join us to talk some Longhorns. And obviously plenty to discuss with him about this Texas team this year. 5:30, we'll talk about what's trending. And at 5:45, we'll wrap up today's show like we always do with Moe's Crunch Time. Let me remind you, we're in our Family Leisure Studios where family and fun come together. And the school is back in session, but summer is still here. You can still get those backyards ready for that last-minute ultimate pool party. Maybe the back-to-school ultimate pool party. Right now at Family Leisure, above-ground pools starting at $39.99 installed, with in-ground pools starting at $49,999. All in-stock patio furniture is priced to move, with 5-piece patio furniture sets starting at just $999. Outdoor sectionals, they're starting at $12.99 with a free umbrella and base available with select patio furniture sets. While you're out there, don't forget about the hot tubs and the swim spas. Hot tubs starting at $34.99 with swim spas starting at $16,999. Special financing, it is available, and if you mention this ad, get $200 off any pool or spa purchase. So head out there to Family Leisure, 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40.
And tomorrow we invite everybody to join us down at Bangers, just off Goodman Road in South Haven, and right down the highway from us, not far. 10 minutes?
Yeah, I'd say. But right down the street. Literally, doesn't take long at all to get there.
Please come join us tomorrow. We'll be there on remote from 3 to 6. Connor producing. He's Brian. I'm Brett. We're Sports Time live and local with you until 6 o'clock. And we want you to join us by texting or calling 901-360-8255. That's the Sissy's Log Cabin text and talk line. Always live and local from our Family Leisure Studios. And this hour brought to you every day by the great people at Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway and online at lexusofmemphis.com. Great offers on all 2026 models and always special leasing options. Driving luxury and confidence knowing that every new Lexus comes with complimentary first and second maintenance services. You can call them at 901-334-9673, but they invite you to stop by the only Lexus dealership in Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway, and that's where you can put yourself in the driver's seat of the all-new 2026 flagship LS500. You'll be driving in style. When you purchase a Lexus, you get top-of-the-line engineering and design, and they make for the safe luxury driving experience. Online at lexusofmemphis.com. Experience amazing at Lexus of Memphis.
Top story of the day.
Well, my top story of the day, it has to be the news that starting in 2028, Memphis might not be on the PGA Tour. They certainly will not be a part of the Championship Series. For those who might not be aware of the changes coming to the PGA Tour, will split into two different tiers. The top tier being the Championship Series, and then the lower tier, the Challenger Series. I mentioned it earlier. I don't have it in front of me, unfortunately, but the Championship Series, that top tier, that will be the top 120 or so players on tour. The lower Challenger Series will kind of be 120 to maybe 250 or so of the top golfers in the world. And so there is a chance Memphis will be here as a Challenger Series, but that will be much different from what it has been as the FedEx St. Jude Championship as of recently, even going back to the World Golf Classic stops. And it feels like a lot of this does have to do with the sponsorship with FedEx and PGA Tours. It sounds like FedEx stepping away from the tour, but what will it look like in the future? I know we've kind of had this feeling for, like we were talking about earlier, about a year now, that there were going to be some big changes, that especially the playoffs would be moved to bigger, more name brand venues, and that Memphis would not be where it is currently. But we all kind of had the hopes of, okay, April, May, be one of those signature events and, have a really good field still. Now this news is a complete 180 of that. Still could be around April or May, but being a Challenger Series will be much different, really, especially like you mentioned, Brett, to get this news, a week, literally, it's Wednesday. We'll be out there in a week until we're out there. To get news like this, it's going to make it to where this next week, this year, and next year, the tournament really going to have a dark cloud over it.
Yeah, and I don't think FedEx stepping away. I think they got the door slammed in their face, and we're left with no other options. My top story, the news of this morning, it seemed inevitable since Rex Hogger joined us back in January. And when we had him on then, and he thought, and his story then was for radical changes for 2027. Then they ran into existing site and TV contracts and things like that. And even Rolap and Tiger couldn't bulldoze Memphis then. But they finally got Memphis, and I think they wanted to get Memphis. They want to go bigger city. I think you're hearing market size. Well, the BMW goes town to town. It's going to be in St. Louis in 2 weeks. How much different is St. Louis than Memphis? Yeah. Last year it was right outside of Baltimore. I can't remember the name of that town, maybe Haverty Gray, somewhere up there anyway. But we're hearing market size. We're hearing a lot of excuses. But we don't see Rolap here next week, and we've never seen Tiger here during a tournament, so we don't expect to see him. But I think it's disgraceful how FedEx has been treated after all they've spent for all these players for all these years. And now FedEx is going to have promotion, sponsorship, and sports dollars to spend somewhere else. And everybody's going to be lining up for that. Mm-hmm. And it may just get down to this in this market. We got to save the Grizzlies.
Yeah, well, That's
so sign the deal.
Yeah, well, that certainly becomes even bigger with this type of news of something leaving Memphis. You certainly don't want to see the Grizzlies leaving Memphis.
Not top story of the day.
Well, my not top story of the day, and when I thought that we weren't going to have this big time breaking news earlier this morning, I thought this was maybe going to be the top story of the day. But Memphis basketball has added another non-conference opponent to their schedule. Grand Canyon will visit Memphis on December 11th, part of a home-and-home series. This was first reported by John Rothstein. Our friend Jason Munns, who's been extremely busy over the last 24 hours, he confirmed the news with a source from Memphis that this is something that is starting again. December 11th at FedEx Forum, Memphis will make the trip to Phoenix next year in the 2027-2028 season. We talked about 3 spots left before this game was announced on that non-conference schedule. I think the addition of Grand Canyon, really nice opponent to get there. Now you'll see both Drew brothers playing Memphis in a span of about a week, which will be a fun storyline. I mean, you're getting all of them at that point, it feels like. So will be a lot of fun. Now we'll see where they go from here. I know we talked, I think either last week or the week before, Jason Munns had reported that Memphis was trying to get a Power 4 opponent onto the schedule with these remaining 3 spots. I don't know if this replaces that or if this is in addition to that, but 2 spots remaining. I would assume that both of those would be more bye games, but we will see, and hopefully soon we'll get a full non-conference schedule from the Tigers.
My not top story, I look forward to seeing what the future sites for what will be and what the playoff structure is going to look like for the tour going forward. I think it'll be 3 phases. Mm-hmm. The first one, it's been Memphis. I think will bounce around town to town all over the country. The second one, the BMW has already done that this year in St. Louis. Yeah. It always bounces around. And then for their finals, I think they want to go match play, 30 players, match play. And with the price, with the sponsorship price tags for all these events, I don't think on-site selling tickets is going to matter that much, especially for the finals. So that's why I think it's going to go to a lot of these exotic places that I talked about yesterday. Like Fisher's Island, Chicago Golf Club, Seminole. You won't sweat at all at Seminole any time of the year. Never in Palm Beach because they got that great breeze that always blows down there. But they're going to go there, and the permanent golf media, they, as much as anyone, they want that because most of them never get in the gate of those places unless that tournament's there, and they want to see it. Of course. Not that I could ever get in Chicago Golf Club. I've been to Seminole. I can tell you all about it, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be very different, and it's very unfortunate the way that is playing out for us here in Memphis. But that'll do it for top and not top story of the day. Let's get to our first break, and when we return, we're talking some college football. 4 downs. That comes your way next.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. I'm here at Town Village Audubon Park interviewing a new resident, Carolyn. Share with us why you chose Town Village.
Well, if your parents or special friends need to make that big move, let me share with you my experience. It was tough for me to leave home, but then I discovered Town Village. I would like to highly recommend Town Village to you and your loved ones. After looking at all the amenities and meeting all the people and staff, I was hooked. From restaurant, bistro, 3 meals per day, housekeeping, transportation, security, health care, physical therapy, exercise room, and even a heated pool and spa. Come see us and make your new home at Town Village.
Visit us and call Daniel at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home, Town Village.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right and naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything. From the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys, Tito's is known for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Incorporated, Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
The Colonel is the king of chicken. That's why he's always had a beef with beef. But on Wednesdays, he's squashing the beef by frying it. KFC Country Fried Steak is here for only $4.99. Crispy golden outside, tender steak inside. Served with peppery gravy, mashed potatoes, coleslaw, and a biscuit. At last, the Colonel and beef buried the hatchet in gravy. Get the $4.99 Country Fried Steak Wednesdays for a limited time only at KFC.
Prices and participation may vary while supplies last. Not available on third-party ordering platforms. Tax, tip, and fees extra.
Saturday morning at 10 o'clock, come hang out on the back porch. An hour full of the hottest topics and important people around the SEC and only the SEC. The Back Porch, Saturday morning at 10 right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. The best golfers on the PGA Tour are coming to Memphis to kick off the FedEx Cup playoffs at the FedEx St. Jude Championship starting August 13th. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM will be broadcasting live at TPC Southwind throughout the day, Wednesday through Friday of tournament week, keeping you up to date with the latest tournament news. Our coverage from TPC Southwind is brought to you by Landers Ford in Collierville, also sponsored by Colonial Country Club, Holly Winter Jewelry, and Huey's Restaurant.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon, T-Dots. Working with a couple of accidents out here. No shortage of radar down I-40 as you head out towards Fayette County. It's going to be that way for the next couple of days. Now, we're watching an increase over here on Sam Cooper in certain sections, especially going outbound on Sam Cooper coming up past Perkins. Hey, don't let a slipping transmission make things worse on your car or truck. Having transmission problems? Come to Amco Transmissions right now. There's 2 locations right here in Memphis. Let them check out your vehicle. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you, and we've got to talk some college football. We're getting closer and closer. I know we've talked a lot about Memphis, some of those other teams playing in week 0 as they've already gotten fall camp underway. Other teams starting this week to get fall camp started. So football is in the air. That means we need to get to another edition of 4 Downs. I'm going to have the questions today, so let's go ahead and get to 4 Downs. All right, Brett. Well, we're going to try to do some math again. We're going to try our schedules for 2 teams, all right?
I got my shoes on.
Okay, just make sure. Yeah, you want to have every single thing that you can count on available to you. All right, we've got Alabama and we've got Notre Dame, 2 of the biggest brands in college football, arguably, and 2 teams that I think a lot of people think will have pretty good years this year. So let's start with Alabama's schedule. Now, again, don't forget, I don't want anybody to forget, A, B, C, D, F, okay? A, 4 points, B, 3 points, C, 2 points, D, 1 point, and an F is 0. So we'll start with Alabama. East Carolina opening day.
B, 3.
Okay, wow. I gave them a D. I gave it a 1. So we got a big difference off the bat there. At Kentucky.
C, 2.
I gave them a 3, a B. I might have been a little too high. I don't remember listing a 3 for them, but whatever. Florida State.
A.
I give Florida
4.
State a 2, a C for me. South Carolina at home.
C, 2.
I give it a C as well. At Mississippi State.
C, 2.
I also gave it a 2. Georgia. Home
A.
against Georgia. Yeah.
4.
An A for me. At Tennessee.
4.
As well. And home against A&M.
4.
As well. At LSU.
4.
As well. At Vanderbilt.
B, 3.
I also gave it a 3. Home against Chattanooga.
0.
I also gave it a 0. And against Auburn at home,
4. A.
I gave it a 3 just because of how down Auburn has been. But rivalry game, I was kind of on the line of a 3 or a 4. So my average grade for Alabama, 2.72 was how mine averaged out.
Mine was 3. I had 36 total points divided by 12.
Yep.
That's 3.
Yeah, that
I did that without my shoes on.
How about that? I mean, look at that. That's the mathlete coming out.
Yeah.
All right. For Notre Dame, they start their season against Wisconsin.
B, 3.
I gave them
That's
a
at
3 as
Lambeau.
well. Yes,
not
that
at
is.
Camp Randall, but
That's right.
regardless, 3.
Yes, I gave them a 3 as well. Home against Eastern Illinois.
Is that right? I had Rice's.
I am so sorry. I was about to say, I was looking at 2 of my lists, and I said, these are not the right lists, because I accidentally clicked on Wisconsin instead of Notre Dame. Let's try
That's
that
okay.
again.
Okay.
Rice at home.
A charitable D, 1.
I gave them a 1 as well. Michigan State.
C, 2.
I gave it a 3. I don't know why I gave that a 3. Whatever. At Purdue.
C, 2, and that's
I gave it
charitable.
a 2 as well. At North Carolina.
B, and that's very charitable,
Wow.
but the At's worth something.
I guess so. I gave them a 2. I mean,
Okay.
who knows what's even going on at North Carolina by the time we get to October
Okay.
3rd. I mean, it could be a real mess. I gave it a 2. Home against Stanford.
C, 2.
I gave it a D, a 1. At BYU.
A 4. A.
I gave it a 4 as well. Home against Navy.
3.
I also gave it a 3.
B.
Home against Miami.
4.
Also a 4. Home against Boston College.
3.
I gave it a 2, but I like where you're at with the 3. Home against SMU.
3.
I gave it a 4. And then the final game at Syracuse.
3 as well.
I gave that one a 2. So my average for the 12 games, 2.58.
Wow.
Yeah, how about that?
That's failure, Notre Dame. 2.58.
It really is. That's you're not getting a diploma at Notre Dame for that.
I'm 2.75.
Wow, okay. Interesting.
And we compared 2 heavyweights, Notre Dame and Alabama.
Yeah.
The Notre Dame schedule's pure slop.
Yeah, no, it is. It certainly is really hard to compare Notre Dame to any of these big-time teams, especially in the SEC, even in the Big Ten. I mean, when you're just out there kind of hanging out, and I guess you get a couple of teams in the ACC to play you, but it makes it really hard when you're an independent.
And they will be, at worst, a 4 seed.
That's right. Yes, it is all set up for them. And as long as they do what they have to do what they're supposed to do, yeah, the worst they'll be is about a 4 seed. All right, down number 2. I think that went better second time around. I think we were a lot more prepared. I think we were ready to rock for the math in that portion. All right, my second down question. You look at some of the quarterbacks that are going to be at new places. I just went, I think it was 247 I was looking at to see the top quarterbacks that were in the transfer portal this past offseason. I took out Dylan Raiola because we know he will not be playing, but he was the third quarterback transfer on 247. Sam Levitt, who will be at LSU, Drew Messmaker, who will be at Oklahoma State, Darian Mensah, who will be at Miami, and Josh Hoover at Indiana. Those are the top 4 transfer portal quarterbacks according to 247. With those 4, who has the best season and who has the worst season?
I'm going to go Sam Levitt having the best season because I know he's being coached by absolute. If they came out of the East German Olympic movement in the 80s, they would have been at their best in it, and that's Lane Kiffin and Charlie Watts.
Yeah.
They know how, and they know a lot more than this, but if they don't know anything else, they know how to coach a quarterback, and I think he's going to be okay from injury. My least best of the group, and it's gravity. How can Hoover be better than Mendoza?
There's just no way. There's no way. I mean, he could have a really good season.
And if they are, then let's just see the sport over Signetti and Indiana as super team of all time.
Yes.
I'm serious about that.
Oh, no question about it.
If gravity doesn't get him, quarterback, then it never gets another soul.
No.
Sir Isaac Newton was wrong.
Sir Isaac Newton was absolutely wrong if that is the case. And I mean, you just kind of look at the two. I think Josh Hoover's a fine quarterback. I do not think that he is the type of quarterback that Fernando Mendoza was even going into Indiana. So I'm with you.
Second on my list would be Mestmaker.
Yeah.
I think there are a lot of serious people that think Oklahoma State can really pull the Signetti, pull the Indiana.
Yeah, no, I feel like a lot of people really, really high on this Oklahoma State team and really high on him. I mean, he became a massive storyline in the American last year with what he was doing at North Texas, so following his head coach to Oklahoma State. I think that'll be good. Now, the one guy that we haven't talked about, Darian Minson better be good for Miami. I mean, they went through all that trouble to get him down there, paid him a lot of money. He better be good down there.
Are we sure he's going to be better than what they had last year?
Well, yeah, that's going to be hard to do as much as...
Who got him within one drive of winning it all?
Who will be... Brett, I mean, you're not even doing the headliner. Who will be starting the Hall of Fame game tomorrow night? Carson Beck.
Bed check for him tonight.
It absolutely will be. You're going out there on the first snap.
And then after tomorrow night might be playbook check for him to them.
Definitely could be a lot of film, maybe after that game at best. But yeah, it might be turning everything and we'll see. No, but yeah, I mean, I think these are going to be 4 quarterbacks that a lot of people will be watching this season, and it'll make it entertaining for sure. All right, third down. We talked a little bit about the coaches poll yesterday. Now, we said coaches poll, especially the first one, does not matter. But for the sake of this segment, the coaches poll absolutely matters. So I ask you, Brett, you might have to pull back up the coaches poll. What'd they get right? What'd they get wrong? Who was too high? Who was too low when you looked at it?
Well, I think they got Indiana wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, if for nothing else, you're deserving as the champ, I think, to start. I know it's a new year and we're starting over, but to have them 6th behind a team that didn't, 2 teams that didn't go to the playoffs last year, Texas and Notre Dame, they got Oregon wrong. Oregon should be 1 instead of 2.
Yeah.
And I think Wright, maybe Alabama wrong.
Okay.
But right, I think BYU's about right.
Yeah.
My lookout for team, if they can be, they can't be with all that history and tradition and fight on. But look out for USC.
Yeah, no, you've been very, very high on USC.
If gravity gets Indiana, USC fills the vacuum in the Big Ten.
I like that. I think that would be, we talk about this a lot when we're talking about kind of what's good for a certain sport. The NFL's better when the Cowboys are better. I just throwing
Why
that
are we
out
cutting
there,
Connor out? I've just realized we're doing
That's
this.
true. Connor, you got anything to say over there? I'm sorry. We got too caught up in the math.
Connor, I'm very sorry. The math threw us off.
Well, I think BYU should be higher. I really like Bo. What's his name? Quarterback.
Bear Bachmeier.
Bear Bachmeier, 47. I love him.
Yeah,
called him Bo.
Old number 47.
Yeah, missed
number 47.
Misplaced there, but yeah, I think BYU's gonna be really good this year.
Yeah, I like that. I'll tell you what. Maybe this isn't a wrong or right. But I tell you what, looking at a preseason poll of any kind and seeing Washington in there at number 19, that was a little surprising yesterday. But hey, good luck.
We've been waiting on Jed Fish, haven't we?
We absolutely have. So maybe this is the year. But I think.
And can you believe Clemson's even ranked?
Yeah,
with how they're being discussed.
That's very true. Yeah,
you talk about Clemson, like the rice.
They really are. But hey, I guess that shows how great Clemson has been over this span. All right, 4th down. You mentioned Indiana in there. I want you to keep.
What's our down? I know our down. What's our distance? Is this 4th and short, or is it red zone 4th down?
I think this is like a 4th and 1. We just gotta push it through. I mean, this should be like an easy, and really not even.
Can a sneak? Quarterback sneak?
That's the thing. I think this one, unfortunately, it might be like a 4th and 1, and the defense is playing like a soft zone. Like you can maybe just like take the snap and just fall forward, and you'll have it by 3 yards.
Okay.
So, but keep Indiana in mind. You look back, you mentioned that Indiana comes in at number 6, Miami, who was in that national championship, at number 7. So 4 teams in the semifinals last year: Oregon, Indiana, Ole Miss, and Miami. All 4 of those teams in the preseason poll, but at various different spots, Oregon being the highest. Of those 4 teams that were in the semis last year, who makes it this year?
Ole Miss.
Okay. All right.
That was easy.
Well, that was easy. I didn't think it was going to be that easy.
The schedule's not easy.
I had hoped it wasn't going to be that easy, but you made it. You made it look easy.
But Ole Miss will be back. And yesterday in that top 40 players, and the Tigers had two, and you wrote about it, the Tigers had both quarterbacks in there in that top 40. How can you have the top 40 college players and never mention either Trinidad Chambliss or Kwan Lacey in that story?
Yeah, that's a really, really good point. And so, yeah, I think, I don't really know. I think looking at it, at least, I think because the title is college football's 40 most important players. I think that was that shouldn't have been the title, because that is not what it was at all. It was just like who kind of are
impactful.
Well, not even that. It was just like, what questions do we have about these 40 players at these 40 programs going into the season? Like, it was a very weird list, because it even started off and it was like, these guys are, what was it? It was new likely quarterbacks for potential contenders. And so it talked about Keelan Russell and Josh Hoover and Darian Mensah. Like, I wouldn't say those by any means are the three most important players in college football. Now, those are three very important questions for three big-time programs. So I think that story was a little misleading yesterday, and I was kind of looking through it and started, I don't know if this is exactly how it's being posted out there as the same story. But my answer is Oregon. I think they got to do it at some point. They've got all the money. Now they're bringing their quarterback back. Oh, wow, that would be awesome. If you got Oregon and Ole Miss as the finals, that would be good stuff.
In the LV?
Oh, man. Oh, yeah. Well, Brett, you be careful if you're in the LV for a championship game.
I need to be careful eating.
Oh yeah, no, that is.
I could injure myself.
You could. Well, Brett, they give away free lobsters out there.
You got to play a lot though.
Well, that is true.
I'm not going to play enough to get all the free stuff, but even the discounted buffets.
That's very true. That's very true. They know what they're doing out there. Connor, do you have any team you?
I was going to go Oregon as well.
Yeah,
I think Oregon's going to be great. Love Dan Lanning.
Yeah, I think an Ole Miss Oregon championship would be.
It would be two defensive guys that both came out of the Bama shop.
That's exactly right. That would be really, really fun. All right, well, that was 4 Downs. We'll do another edition of 4 Downs here pretty soon as we get closer and closer to the football season. But let's go ahead, get to another break, and when we return, we've got to talk some Major League Baseball.
Be sure to download our Hub 901 app for instant access to Sports 56 and all the Flynn broadcasting stations from anywhere. Go to the App Store and get the Hub 901 app today.
Unlock your new go-to spot, Codes Dispensary in Steele, Missouri, just over an hour from Memphis. When you're ready for a legal, reliable option, they're right up the road. Explore the full menu of top-shelf products in-store and online. Short on time? Order ahead and cruise through the drive-thru for a quick pickup. Stack rewards while you stock up with Club Codes. Earn points for every dollar spent. Codes Dispensary, now open in Steele, Missouri. Supreme cannabis that's worth the drive. Learn more at CodesDispensary.com. That's CodesDispensary.com.
Napa Cafe celebrates 28 years in 2026.
Hi, I'm Glenda Hastings, owner of Napa Cafe, and I want to thank you for making us part of your dining experiences. Treat yourself tonight with a delightful dinner. Maybe start with an appetizer like our baked sweet piquilla peppers stuffed with goat cheese and mozzarella, finish with basil pistou, and move on to one of our cozy dishes like the double chocolate stout braised boneless beef short ribs with tonkatsu sauce and creamy mashed potatoes. Or a fresh seafood dish like our pan-roasted ginger-buttered sea bass with cilantro soy vinaigrette. I get hungry just talking about it. Don't forget about dessert, our famous sweet buttermilk pie with brown sugar sauce, or drink your dessert with one of our signature dessert cocktails like the lemon cheesecake martini, lemony, icy, frothy, and dusted with graham cracker crumbs. Napa Cafe, open Wednesday through Saturday for dinner starting at 5 o'clock. For reservations, visit our website at napacafe.com. We can't wait to serve you.
Come join in and celebrate 28 years of Napa Cafe in 2026.
It's time to get your backyard ready for the ultimate pool party with a little help from Family Leisure. If you've been sitting on the fence about taking the plunge with a pool, now's the time to take the dive. You want an above-ground pool? Done. Starting at $39.99, and that's with installation. You want an in-ground pool? Take your pick. They start at under $50,000. Accessorize that pool with a patio furniture set starting at just $9.99. Outdoor sectionals? They start at $12.99. $12.99. In fact, all in-stock patio furniture sets are priced to move. And with select patio furniture sets, you'll get a free umbrella and base. Okay, you aren't looking to get into a pool just yet? Family Leisure has hot tubs that start at just $34.99. Get in shape or stay in shape with a swim spa starting at $16,999. Get your backyard, front yard, side yard, whatever, ready for fun. Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together.
The FedEx St. Jude Championship returns to TPC Southwind August 12th through 16th. Watch the PGA Tour's top players in the first event of the FedEx Cup playoffs while enjoying free food and non-alcoholic beverages with a Grounds Plus ticket. Tickets available at FedExChampionship.com.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you. Got to talk some Major League Baseballs. We've got some day action today on a Wednesday. Actually, a good amount of games going on right now. 4 games in action as we speak. Right now, the Blue Jays and Astros tied 3-3 in the bottom of the 9th. Giants and Rangers up 5-0 in the top of the 8th. The Rays up 3-0 in Colorado against the Rockies, and the Cubs up 7-1 going into the 8th inning.
More singing?
Well, I don't think I'm gonna do that again. I think I got it in one time, and that's it for the day. But hey, they're gonna be singing, or at least it looks like they'll be singing.
Let's go through the checklist of the first hour: cursing, singing, and math.
That's right. What a day!
What a day!
All in the first hour.
We also got a horns up.
Yeah, that's right. Good call.
Got a horns up.
Got a horns up. So what a
day. That is a story.
All in 1 hour is something that I did not think would ever be done. But here we are, and here we are, Dodgers. What would this be? 5 or 6 in a row? I mean, this is 5, I think. That'd be crazy.
And the Cubs are as hot as the Red Sox.
Mm-hmm. The Cubs are extremely
and
hot.
The Red Sox have won 17 out of 20?
Yeah.
Is that right?
They are, they're playing, both those teams playing extremely well and, clicking at the right time. And, for the Red Sox, I mean, you go all the way back to before the All-Star break, and it felt like, okay, well, All-Star break gets here, and then maybe they, get back to, really struggling, but they haven't missed a beat at all. And so, both those teams, really, really impressive stuff. And, this Dodgers team, Skubal, he, pitched well last night, but everybody around him really, really struggled. Couldn't get any offense going. Only 4 hits last night for the Dodgers. 5-1 that final last night. Skubal's line, 6 innings, 6 strikeouts, 4 hits, 2 runs earned, 2 walks. So a nice showing in his first game. But man, this Dodgers team, the losses are weirdly stacking up for them.
Really good time to be losing for them, though.
Oh, yeah, no, it's perfect time.
August 5th, who cares?
Perfect time. No, they don't care. And
October 5th matters a little more.
Sure, and with everything that happened over the weekend, it gives all the other fans in baseball something to laugh at and enjoy seeing them lose.
And last night, what happened with the Dodgers equipment staff shipping their uniforms? They didn't get there because I saw the Dodgers last night in their batting practice jerseys.
Were they really?
They were in blue tops.
Oh, wow, interesting.
No, they succumbed to doing that.
See, I didn't get to see any of that game last night, so
you used to could count on the Dodgers.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Home whites, road grays.
Yeah,
that's it.
Oh yeah, no, not anymore. That is.
No, we got to drive a 17-year-old to the team store.
That's right. And I don't know how many 17-year-olds are really being driven to the team
right,
store.
Real time. What is the real time over and under in Tampa Bay and Colorado? Can you look up in your handy gaming app?
Absolutely.
Right now, it's 3-0 Tampa Bay. I think they are at bat. Boy, talking about uniforms. No, they're the Rockies in their traditional pinstripes. They look good in them.
Wow. Let's see. My app's being weirdly slow right now.
I'm sorry.
No, it's not your fault. I think the gaming companies are trying to see me lose.
Are they throttling you?
I don't know what they're doing, but they're
too much
they're
winning for
up.
you.
Yeah, no, that's definitely not the case. 7.5 the over under right now in Colorado.
So we'd have to get 5 more runs to go over.
That's right. Yeah.
I kind of like that. because Coors Field happens.
Coors Field does happen. That's a lot of runs, though.
Especially the parade of relief pitchers.
That's true. That is very true. That is a lot of runs to be asking for in, 3.5 innings?
Mm-hmm.
And that seems like a lot. But, hey,
you
Vegas
really need Coors Field to happen.
Yeah, no, you need all of Coors Field to happen the rest of the game. But, no, it has been interesting. You're starting to see a lot of these, new faces and new places after the trade deadline. Casey Mize, who was traded from the Tigers to the Padres, he'll make a road start tonight for the Padres against the Diamondbacks. So starting to see that. Obviously a lot of the fielding players, they're already there. I mean, we saw who was the guy that Washington traded to the Yankees, was Luis Garcia.
Yeah.
He played Monday night. So I mean, you're seeing guys already get to their places, and we're seeing them in action. And we'll see what the Cardinals can do tonight in another one after dropping last night against the Yankees.
It's a little bit like the call up from or move down from AAA. If it's called up to the big league team, they get their lickety split.
Oh yeah, oh absolutely.
You get moved down, take a good time getting there.
No,
if you're head to a good team, you get there really fast.
You get there really, really fast. Opposite side, hey, maybe take your time. Take your time a little bit. Speaking of call-ups, last night, George Lombard Jr. for the Yankees. He started at shortstop and went 1 for 2 and had a home run with that one hit. So good first game for the young Yank.
You know who's some today in New York are already comparing him to?
Who's that?
Mr. Gift Basket himself, Derek Jeter. Let's slow down just a little bit.
So way down. Brett, I heard those same comparisons for Anthony Volpe, and now everybody wants Anthony Volpe nowhere near the city of New York. So.
But what a night for the Lombard family. Oh, yeah. Almost simultaneous, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was around the same time. Yeah, it was very close to each other.
Home runs at two different levels of baseball. So
yeah, which I didn't even know. His younger brother playing in.
I didn't either, but I love the story.
Yeah, no, it's a great story, and they're playing against the Cardinals. I think it's high A team.
Is that right?
So
down in Jupiter. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, so it was. They were having fun against the Cardinals organization last night. So definitely made it a fun story for them. Hopefully not as much fun tonight for the Yankees against the Cardinals, but I think the Cardinals have done a nice job against them so far, obviously getting that win in the first game, 2-0 last night. Felt like they were still in it, but just couldn't get any runs across.
Imagine being a season ticket holder and you go and you go to a lot of games, and you've had the Yankees and the Dodgers back to back at Wrigley.
That's good stuff. That is, that's hard to beat.
Bang for your buck.
It really is.
The games have been terrific.
No, they have been, and like you said, the Cubs have been playing great. So they're giving the fans something to cheer about, something to sing about up there on the north side.
In Cardinal world,
okay.
An NLCS of Dodgers Cubs. How do you think it would fall out fandom?
Oh man,
who would you be for?
I'd probably be for the Dodgers, I think.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, it may be inevitable the Dodgers catch the Cardinals for the most in the National League World Series titles.
Yeah, no.
Cardinals have it right now with 11.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Dodgers are at 9 or so.
Yeah. No, it's definitely
Or do
close.
you pull for your biggest rival, the Cubs?
Yeah, I
asked this question of the person sitting by me on the Sunday afternoon game in April, and he said, "No way, never the Cubs." I said, "Wait for me, I would."
Yeah, I just when it gets down to that, like I think I just kind of think about guys that I like watching play, and I guess, like, out of those two teams, maybe Mookie Betts. Like, I enjoy Mookie Betts, so maybe I'd go for the
If the networks could have Dodgers, Cubs, Red Sox, Yankees, and CSs.
Woo! Yeah, no, they'll be thrilled. The rest of baseball.
Ad rates go up next year.
The ad rates go up at some point. Maybe not next year, especially if those are the two teams.
That's right.
In the final. If the Dodgers get through and the Yankees get through, it might not be any ads next year, but hopefully not. But should be a fun night of Major League Baseball. Let's get to another break. When we return, we've got to talk some golf. John Goen from Timber Trust, he'll join us. We'll talk a lot of golf. We'll also make our weekly pick picks. We'll do that next on Sports Time.
Did you miss your favorite Sports 56 show?
No!
Check out the podcast, broken down hourly at sports56whbq.com or wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to like and subscribe. Never miss any Sports 56 show again with our podcasts available daily from Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Huey's has been serving the Memphis community since 1970. In this local, family-owned restaurant, you'll find a casual setting and laid-back atmosphere, where entertainment includes writing on graffiti walls and listening to live music every Sunday. Huey's has been voted best burger in Memphis every year since 1984, and most kid-friendly for more than 30 years. With 10 locations across Memphis and North Mississippi, there's sure to be a Huey's close by. Huey's Restaurants, blues, brews, and burgers for over 55 years.
You know that feeling when something is supposed to be complicated and then it's not? That's the Dobbs Brothers way. For your new Chevrolet, there's no games, no runaround, no surprises, just straight answers from people who actually mean them. Buying a car shouldn't feel like a battle, and at Dobbs Brothers Chevrolet, it doesn't. Trust, transparency, and driving our community forward. That's the Dobbs Brothers way. Shop Dobbs Brothers Chevrolet of Bartlett today. Together, let's drive.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. I wanted to take a minute and discuss advertising with you. There are so many websites that list the best service provider in your area. Even the BBB has an accredited list. You know the one thing they all have in common? A company like mine has to pay to get on that list. So that begs the question, can those lists be trusted? You know what can be trusted? History. We've been around for almost 30 years providing customers with the best service and the best products that we possibly can. So if you need a roof, siding, or gutters, give us a call. We'll come talk to you and let you decide for yourself whether or not we know what we're talking about. Fiveash Roof Services. Best products, best warranties, and in many cases, the best price. We're fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Frame Corner, custom framing your art since 1975, is your go-to for precision designs and craftsmanship. Bring your cherished collectibles, fine art, and sports memorabilia to Frame Corner and experience expert customer care with attention to every detail. Specializing in framing and displays of sports jerseys and items ranging from little leagues to the big leagues, SEC to the NBA. Visit Frame Corner, 5035 Park Avenue near Mount Moriah, or online at framecornermemphis.com. Frame Corner, your top pick for custom framing.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. Starting to build even more now, going outbound on Sam Cooper, trying to get back up on the interstate. Right on schedule in that volume through the Midtown area. It's picked up over here on the 55 bridge, especially headed over into Crittenden County, West Memphis. Now, be careful south of Memphis this afternoon. Radar down through there earlier on 55 in certain parts of South Haven into DeSoto County. Hey, don't let a slipping transmission make things worse on your car or truck. Having transmission problems? Come to Amco Transmissions right now. Let them check out your vehicle. 2 locations here in Memphis. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10. Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Landers Ford in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
When you hear the sound of coming, hear the drums drumming, I want you to join together with the band.
More back in Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you as we start our second hour on this Wednesday afternoon. We got to talk some golf, and we do it at this time every single week with John Goen. John, thanks so much for joining us. How's everything down at Timber Truss?
Fellas, happy Wednesday to everybody. Yeah, things are good. No complaints. Just, weather's been great the last few days. It's been really nice in the mornings and everything. So, no real complaints on our end. Golf course is in good shape, and just kind of getting ready for tomorrow night with the Thursday 2-man, and then get ready for some golf this weekend. So yeah, no real issues on our end. I do have
any spots open tomorrow night?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think we got a couple of spots there. I think there's a few left. So not too many, but we're back to, now that school's back in, and when you get to the tail end of the season, those Thursday nights, everybody's like, well, we'll just go play golf on Thursday nights. I mean, it's kind of the thing to do. So now that we're not going on vacations and things along those lines anymore. So.
Yeah.
But, did I miss something last week? And this is really bad to even bring up, I think, but I was scrolling through just trying to see the results from the Rocket Mortgage, and I maybe I missed them. They went out in a different text thread or something. I wasn't sure whether because I got to make sure I'm prepping. I got to prep for the playoffs here, fellas.
Right.
So I got to.
Right.
I got to make sure the most recent results.
Right. Yeah.
Are planned.
Did I not send out results Sunday night?
I don't think you did.
I don't. I'm not trying to throw. I mean, I'm unintentionally intentionally doing it, I guess.
No, you're definitely intentionally doing it.
No, John,
I'm not intentional about it.
I wish you. I'm mortified. I can't believe I didn't.
I'll be honest, Brett. I was going to ask you about it, and I'll be honest, I forgot. But I was going to ask you about it. It's the thought that counts.
Well, Connor won the week with 342 500. John was second with 505, even 505,000. I was third with 57 214, and Bryant had a bagel.
Well, that's why I didn't bring it up.
Is that the second bagel for Bryant this year?
I mean, what are we counting? I think you had a bagel earlier in the season. I mean, good Lord.
I don't think I've had a bagel this season.
I don't know.
Bryant had one at Zurich.
I just have officially thrown myself under the bus because it'll happen this week. But,
hopefully.
I'm pretty sure I don't believe I've had a bagel this season.
I can't believe I didn't send out results.
Yeah. Yeah, I was looking for it, and then I was like, oh, I'll ask him about it, and then I completely forgot. I'll be honest, I forgot. And then I didn't want to know because I knew I had a bad week.
John in first, 22 287 535. Connor in second, 16 671 400. I'm in third, 13 516 326, and Bryant in fourth, 11 995 256.
Still time for a comeback. I mean,
Absolutely.
Still a lot of golf left to be played.
A lot of doubles for you coming up, Jake.
Right. Well, speaking of which, I mean, I heard you bring it up. I mean, what a great weekend to have doubles.
Sure is. I mean, any two doubles.
Sure is. I mean, sounds good to me.
Oh my gosh.
Something wrong
man,
with John? What is going on?
I mean, whatever y'all want to do.
I can't believe I didn't send out results. Y'all don't let me do that again. I mean, my old brain, it happens.
Yeah. Well,
I've officially ruined the rest of the segment
honestly,
for Brett.
I know.
No, I'm glad you did, John. I just feel horrible.
So doubles?
Sure, why not?
Yes, how about that? Oh, the comeback
starting. I mean, double from zero is still zero.
That's fair. I really don't have a comeback for that. It's a very fair argument.
John, we had some really cataclysmic news this morning, didn't we?
Yeah, I mean, it's stuff that we've been I feel like we've been talking about and hinting toward here for a little bit, but I think today pretty much kind of solidified it. Granted, I think that, I guess from what I've maybe seen a little bit more, people are trying to paint a bit of a rosier picture of still having a challenger event moving forward. But I don't think anybody around here after the last, 7 years will care about basically a glorified Corn Ferry Tour coming to Memphis.
Not at all. Very hard sell.
No, after you drink the champagne, you don't want to go back to crushing the grapes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So extremely, unfortunate. Especially it makes you also then feel like a long-term partnership between FedEx and the PGA Tour then also comes to an end. If the tour finds a sponsor other than FedEx for an event here, I think you almost have a queasy stomach going back to the Stanford days of now who's coming in here to take over the tour event moving forward. So, it's going to be interesting. I just, to your point, I just don't see how you go from a WGC event to a playoff event to now a challenger event with a lot of players that you're not going to have one idea as to who they are, and it's going to more than likely be what we feel like is in the spring in April or May. Challenging time of year to get a golf course ready, challenging from a weather perspective, especially based off of how we've been here for at least the last 2 decades with rain and things along those lines. It'll be interesting to see how everything shakes out. Maybe, now that LIV has secured funding past 2026, we should just turn into a LIV event.
No, thanks. I wouldn't go to my front yard to watch it.
It's interesting though, John. I hadn't really thought about that, but that is, I guess an option out there.
John, when we went WGC with the 2019 tournament, and then ultimately as part of the playoffs,
2018,
with the FedEx Cup, there were some that were really scared of that, of kind of going big time. A lot of people voice, I'm worried about this. I'm afraid, we're going to get halfway in it and really not be able to meet Sales and Panache and Aplomb and really do this. We did it. We did everything and then some expected and still get this. And the tour gets more difficult every year to deal with. And what I would like to tell the tour is every tournament cannot be Augusta National. Everybody can't build that players and family and friend area like they've built at Augusta National and caddy area. Everybody can't have the niceties at every single event, and I think the players expect that. I think they expect that with every single walk of the treatment of tournament week, and that's impossible to do. And I really mean this. Good luck to the tour. I hope your new friends are as good as you think they're going to be, because I was told a long time ago, never swap out a old friend for a new friend.
Yeah, and I think that goes back to exactly what we were just saying with regard to Stanford and FedEx. You don't ever know what you're going to get when you kind of get that partnership with the new friend. So, you're definitely getting rid of, these next couple of years, you're going to definitely get rid of a lot of history on the PGA Tour. A lot of these places, so as we were speculating last week, so if you think big picture now, right? So John Deere now turns into a challenger event. Now, granted, the Quad Cities has never really been that big of a deal. But you take a long time event, being John Deere, and that's, now in essence gone off the big boy tour. Memphis is gone. For all intent and purpose, you would tend to think a really good chance that the Texas swing is gone.
I think Colonial officially is gone.
Right. New Orleans is gone. It's going to be extremely interesting. But the history, of a lot of these events that have been around for, years, decades, is now, pretty much gone. So, clearly we're moving in a new direction. The history of what has gone on and the support that a lot of these cities have provided to the tour for decades is, inconsequential at this point. And, it is truly, about a business and about direction and about eyeballs and, going to bigger markets to be able to charge $125, $400, $500 for a ticket in an all-inclusive package, and not have people bat an eye over it and, sell, thousands of dollars in, hospitality and things along those lines in order to make, things work. So, it's extremely unfortunate. And for a game that likes to, really kind of rely and rest on its laurels and talk about the history and things along those lines, it's erasing a lot of that, with the current direction that, it's getting ready to go.
Erasing East Lake.
Yeah. I mean, the Tour Championship will now move around. But, the interesting part of that, and I was talking to somebody about it today, I mean, it really opens the door, though. Atlanta will be, I would not be surprised if TPC Sugarloaf returns back to the schedule. They used to host, Bell South Classic before the week before the Masters and things along those lines. I would not be surprised, if you see TPC Sugarloaf return back to the calendar in an April or so type window, because, they'd always oversee that golf course. And so, from a conditions perspective, the golf course was good. I think the players always liked the proximity of it to Augusta right before, the Masters. And, so you could see that potentially kind of happen, as the schedule moves forward.
Did you fear this in 2018, 2019, that this could happen and really happen this quickly?
Well, let's face it, back in 2018, when they announced that the WGC was coming, you felt like that at that point in time, you were solidifying your position on the schedule, and that you weren't going to have to worry about, what the field was going to look like, and you were going to be able to get, it was the one point in time where you truly felt like the Tiger was going to show up in Memphis. And then, of course, you were brought back down to earth rather quickly, when you got word that Tiger was not coming. And now, of course, you've gravitated into Rory's not coming. And so the funny part is where you truly felt like, and granted, look, you still get a very good feel with where you're at, in the playoffs and things along those lines. But, you're still losing out on some of these bigger players because of, how the playoffs are structured or things along those lines. So, it's unfortunate that, again, as we've discussed, I mean, for as much money as FedEx has given to the tour, and as much money as they've given to the players, with purses and things along those lines, that they are kind of where they're at, and now going to kind of be a bit of an afterthought as we, move into the new schedule in 2028.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Brett brought up something interesting earlier of, we saw Rory last year not come to Memphis. I mean, I think we all pretty much know he's not going to come this year. Do you think that, especially next year being the last event, do you think we could see more people opting out, more guys that already are locked in to the next, at least weekend, next 2 weekends, maybe opt out and say, yeah, well, we're not coming back here. This is the last one. We'll just, I'll skip out this weekend, and I'll see you next week, or I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Well, I mean, I think it really depends on certain players, right? I mean, if you kind of get back to, I think what we were talking about a few weeks ago with, Rory kind of throwing Bryson under the bus. I mean, are there guys like a Shane Lowry and others that are kind of in Rory's camp that if they're qualified, and they know that they could move on to the next week for the BMW and not need to come to Memphis, could they skip a week? Sure. I think you could see that definitely happening. I think that, for others that are close enough to a bubble line that need to be able to play in order to move on to the next week, I mean, clearly those guys will show up. I don't see a guy like Scotty Scheffler skipping Memphis next year. Like, I think that he has enough integrity as an individual to show up as the number one player in the world and play Memphis. But as you said, I mean, we definitely know that Rory's not. Well, I shouldn't say we definitely know. We definitely think that Rory's not coming this year. Obviously, if he now skips it 2 years in a row, what's the use in coming for a third year? I think that most everybody else would probably do it. Hopefully, out of just a thanks to FedEx for everything. Hopefully, the guys at the tour would push that narrative a little bit as well. Basically saying that, hey, fellas, we need to kind of show some thanks here for everything that FedEx has done over the decades that they've been a part of the PGA Tour, from not only sponsoring this event, but the FedEx Cup. That's a long answer to basically say that I think that, Rory and some of Rory's camp could opt out, but I could see that the rest of the guys would have enough integrity to probably show up and play the event next year.
Through the years, John, how many times do you think it was close to Tiger coming here? I know in 2019, I think Darrell thought he had him till he tweaked something at the Open Championship on that final day. I think he was really close then. But before that, was it ever in play?
What year did Tiger win the Players? In like 2018? I think it was before that.
Okay, maybe so.
I don't remember. I might have still been the head pro at the time. I remember sitting in the Players Grill at Southwind, and it was still when the Players, I think, was in March. I think it was before the move to May and then back to March. Or I might have that backwards, but I won't get wrapped up in the details like I normally do. There was a conversation that was had in the Players Grill with some folks that I was a part of that literally Joe LaCava felt like that Tiger would play well in Memphis, and it was on the table at the Players that Tiger was planning on coming and playing in Memphis that year until he won the Players. And then he won the Players and he was not coming.
Interesting. So maybe a couple times really close to Tiger. Was that
either the first or second best player in the history of the game never put a peg in the ground in our tournament?
It's wild.
Yes.
And then the walk-off was with Rolap doing this. Incredible. What was that year, Brian?
Was it, you said it was that one was in the spring, or no, that one wasn't in the spring?
Well, I mean, I want to say it was in March, but it could have been May. But I mean, I don't think I was the GM, which happened for me in 2012. October of 2012, I took over as general manager at Southwind.
Uh-huh.
So it would have been either, in that spring of 2012 or sometime before that, maybe 2010 or 2011. I don't know when
I'm seeing 2013, but that's also Google's AI overview, so take that with a grain of salt.
So, I mean, it could have been the first year that I was it could have been that first spring that I was GM, but there was definitely a conversation in the Players Grill.
We can't trust anything. Google AI overview or me sending out results on Sunday night.
Usually the AI overview is pretty good, but every now and then it'll give you something crazy. So you got to be very careful.
That's as close as I ever recall us being to having Tiger. Is, like I said, literally there was a conversation about how they were talking about it, in the players' locker room at the Players Championship, and that Joe LaCava was literally talking Tiger into coming to Memphis.
Wow.
And he was fully engaged in doing it until he won the Players Championship that year.
Interesting. Wow. Well, let's get to our picks for this weekend at the Wyndham. I've got the first pick. I'll go with the best golfer there, Cam Young.
Well, that was quick.
Yeah. Well,
I like that pick.
Thank you.
Right. That was my first one. Right. I'll go with my next pick. That'll be Hideki Matsuyama.
All right. Connor?
I'm going to go with Aaron Rye.
Love that pick. It's a great pick.
John?
Well, I guess you left me with Justin Thomas, so I'll pick Justin Thomas.
JT.
Not bad.
JT.
Not bad at all.
Feeling good this week. I feel like this is the week the comeback starts. Sometimes you just need some good mojo on your side.
You wait to the third to the last week of the year to have that feeling?
Brett, sometimes it goes your way,
Who's
sometimes
counting?
it doesn't go
Who's
your way.
counting?
Exactly.
Right.
So sometimes you need good mojo going your way. I've got to go with a name that's just destined to be a great golfer, Blades Brown. Well, Blades.
I don't mind that at all.
Thank you.
I like that. I'm going to go any two, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm going to take to finish fourth or better and qualify for Memphis, Brooks Koepka.
Whoa.
That would be quite the story.
Whoa.
Coming after me for wanting to turn around 3 weeks out, and then he's going with Brooks Koepka. I mean,
I'm
what
in
is
next
going
to
on?
last. What do you expect? Connor?
I'm going with the young gun, Jackson Coyven.
All right.
Okay.
So if he finishes in the top 4, he qualifies to come to Memphis.
That's correct. T4 or better. He's in Memphis.
Holy moly! Did not see that.
And he's won here.
Yeah.
He's won here after we went big time.
Yeah, sure has. All right, John. He was going to go Brooks Koepka. You've thrown him off his game, Brett.
Really? No, I'm going to go with Sung Jae.
Okay.
I think between Brooks Koepka and no golf results, I did throw John off today.
You might have, honestly.
You would have thought, though, very similar to Bryant, that I would have thought about this, the last couple of days, but it literally didn't dawn on me until like a few hours ago. And I'm like, so then I was like going back and pulling up the text threads from like the last, week or so. And I'd search and I'm like, well, maybe he's sitting out because sometimes, there's just you, me, and Bryant.
Yeah.
So I went and I searched through that one. It wasn't there. And then there was the other one. And I was like, he didn't. I do fully admit, I feel bad that I did bring it up on the air. I should have just sent you a text message going, hey, did you forget to send out results from last week?
I've been shamed so bad it'll never happen again.
That's what you need, public shaming. That's what.
That's it. John, you're going to be with us next week, even though you're going to be out of town.
Somewhere tropical.
Yes.
Good.
Yes. I'm 2 time zones the other direction, so it'll be like 2:00 my time. But I'm good.
Right.
We'll organize it.
Sounds good. Well, tell us where we can book tee times, which y'all have got coming up this week at Timber Trust.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, as we talked about, we got 2-man scramble tomorrow night, 5:30. Come down and join us. We did have skins last week, so there's no rollover this week. Call us 662-895-3530 to be able to sign up for that. Tee times for the weekend, visit us timbertrustgolf.com. And then from that standpoint too, if you want to keep up with everything kind of going on, the Boondoggle is in a few weeks. There are still some spots for that. That's a 2-man scramble on the 22nd and 23rd of August. So it's a 2-day event. So you'll play with a partner, and then we'll pair everything up and flight everything after day 1, and then we have a shootout on Sunday after all the flight winners are determined. So you can sign up for that as well. Follow us on social media on both Facebook and Instagram at Timber Trust Golf Course. There are links on there to be able to sign up for the Boondoggle coming up here in the next couple of weeks. But should be good. I mean, like I said, the last few days have been great, and then it looks like we're in store for a little bit of a cool down maybe again this weekend, or at least some cloud cover to kind of keep things tolerable. So should be another good weekend for golf after seeing a lot of folks this weekend after some really great weather. So look forward to seeing everybody come down to Olive Branch and visit Timber Trust Golf Course.
Well, John, as always, thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy your weekend. We'll do it again next Wednesday.
All right, fellas. We'll look forward to next week. Thanks so much. Take care.
Thank you, John.
Thanks, John. John Goen joining us, talk all things golf. We make our weekly picks with him every week. Next week, we'll be making our picks for the FedEx St. Jude Championship. John will be on vacation, so maybe I'll throw him off his game a little bit during the pick segment. I can only hope.
We're going to catch him.
You know what, Brad? I feel good. And certainly, if Brooks Koepka gets top 4, then you'll be feeling really good.
Double this week,
Right.
double next week in Memphis, and then big purse for St. Louis and the 5-4-3 win-play show for the Tour
It
Championship.
feels like we just pulled a fast one on him.
We did.
Now, what's actually going to happen is he pulled a fast one on us because he's going to win again, and then he's just going to be still running away.
He's pretty good at this.
He's very good at this. So we'll see. We'll see what happens this weekend. Should be a lot of fun. I know we'll be watching that cut line at 70 to see who will be here next week. But let's go ahead and get to another break. And when we return, we've got to talk some NFL. We'll do that next on Sports Time.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
We've learned something over the years. Successful people don't just rely on motivation. Motivation comes and goes. They rely on routines. The workout gets done because it's on the schedule. The meeting gets handled because it's on the calendar. The habits become automatic. That's one reason I've taken M-Drive every morning with my coffee for years. After 40, you start noticing changes. Energy isn't quite the same. Recovery takes longer. The things that used to happen naturally take more effort. That's why scientist Gary Kehoe created M-Drive, a daily supplement designed to support healthy T levels, energy, metabolism, and recovery with clinically tested ingredients. No hyper extremes. Just a simple habit that supports the work you've already done. If you're serious about showing up for your family, career, your workouts, and yourself, start your daily routine. Go to mdriveformen.com. The code is always HERD, H-E-R-D, for 20% off your first order. M-Drive for men who still show up.
High-quality meat, unbeatable freshness, and a family-style commitment to care, that's the Heartland difference. Heartland Steak Co. is your go-to source for premium Midwest meats, delivered straight to your door. Whether you're hosting a backyard barbecue, planning weeknight dinners, or giving someone a gift of Midwest flavor, Heartland Steak Co. is perfect for any occasion. Hand-cut and hand-picked from the Heartland. Our premium selection includes USDA prime and choice beef, all-natural pork, chicken, and more. Save time and money with easy online ordering and expertly prepared Grillmaster packages, freezer filler bundles, holiday gift boxes, all flash frozen for peak freshness. Go to heartlandsteakco.com and use promo code BURGERS to get 2 free 4-count packages of premium steak burgers with orders over $149.99. Heartland Steak Co., your one-stop shop for straight-to-your-door Midwest meat. Taste the Heartland difference at heartlandsteakco.com. Again, that's code BURGERS to get 2 free 4-count packages of premium steak burgers with orders over $149.99.
It's time for the FedEx St. Jude Golf Tournament, which means it's time to celebrate at Half Shell and Forest Hill Grill. Both restaurants are teaming up all tournament week long with happy hour, food and drink specials, and giveaways all day long. After a hot day watching the golf tournament, come to Half Shell or Forest Hill Grill. Always generous portions and pours. Enjoy local draft beers, favorite beverages, and happy hour Monday through Friday from 3 to 6. Everyone is a regular here.
This traffic brought to you by Old Dominick Distillery. Come for the spirits, stay for the experience. Cheers to Memphis. Learn more at olddominick.com.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. Watch the traffic build out of Midtown on 240 South at South Parkway. We got a couple of accidents and their cleanup stages out here. Keeping an eye on 40 over here. It's got a lot heavier, especially in the eastbound lanes at times on I-40 going eastbound there at Warford and Hollywood. Hey, don't let a slipping transmission make things worse on your car or truck. Having transmission problems, let them check out your vehicle right now at Amco Transmissions. 2 locations to serve you here in Memphis. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Landers Ford in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
A lot lot of NFL news out there as we are one sleep away from the Hall of Fame game, which I know everybody is on the edge of their seats waiting for tomorrow night between the Cardinals and the Panthers. I am excited about it. I think it's a fun way, kind of the unofficial start to the NFL season with that game on NBC. But the big news today out of the NFL, Stephon Diggs is signing with the Washington Commanders after he was released by New England earlier in the offseason. He will now join the Commanders. The reported deal, 1 year worth up to $12 million. So the Commanders add another receiver for Jaden Daniels.
And he made it work last year for the Patriots.
Yeah, no, he absolutely did. And so it's, the biggest question with Stephon Diggs is, can he keep his focus on football and a lot of stuff around him? Can he focus on football and kind of be all in on the game? Yes. And
consistent 85 catches last year.
Yeah, I mean, he was really good. I mean, he was a big part of, and a big reason that New England, got
not many of those guys on planet Earth.
No, not at all. Not at all. And so, I do think there is concern with him, but, if you can get that or close to that this year for Washington, I mean, that makes it better because they're not going to be looking at him as wide receiver number one. They've got that with Terry McLaurin. They're just looking for a wide receiver number two, a guy that can, step up and be that second option. And, I think he can I think he can really thrive in that role if he buys into it. And, if, he can be accepting of that role, I think he would be great.
Take your Cowboys hat off here, okay?
Okay, I'll try to.
What kind of bounce back here for Jaden Daniels?
Oh, I think it's going to be really good.
Me too.
I'm excited. I saw
a little sophomore-itis and injury last year.
Yeah, and that certainly the injury played a big role.
Let's see if year 3 for him is better than year 3 was for C.J. Stroud after they both had blockbuster rookie years.
No, it's a really good point. So, yeah, I mean, I don't remember if it was NFL Network or if it was ESPN that I was watching the other day, and they were doing kind of a report from camp and said that he had added some muscle in the offseason, was looking bigger back there in the pocket. And so I think it's going to be a really nice year, obviously adding another weapon. I think we'll see some strides with Jaden Daniels this year.
And the division, is it up for grabs? Have the Eagles opened the door that much?
Yeah, I mean, it's a really good question. I don't really know. I mean,
I'm hearing some saying the Giants could win it. I can't get there.
I got to believe it before I see it with the Giants. I still think they're still very, very young. But, it feels like it's maybe more open than it was 2, 3, 4 years ago when, it felt like the Eagles were really getting on a run and having a ton of success. I think it's a little more wide open, but I think the problem with it being maybe a little more wide open is who goes out there and gets it, because, are we really sold on Dallas? Can Washington make a jump? Can, the Giants make a jump? Who's going to go there and take it from the Eagles? Because I do think until we see something different from one of those other teams, I think it's the Eagles to lose, and I hate saying that.
But no division kind of shares it like NFC South.
Oh,
that division, every year, you could just put them in a hat and draw them out.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. And so, yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of really, really fun questions around the NFL, these different divisions going into the year. And
here's one.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good story.
Yeah.
They deserve all the credit. Nobody thinks Seattle's some juggernaut.
No.
Going on even a Chiefs type run.
No. I mean, I think a lot of people think it's open and that it could be a new champion. Now, you mentioned the Seahawks. We had the first episode of Hard Knocks last night, so that was fun seeing episode 1 of them. And they were talking about, hey, let's not let off the gas. Let's really turn, keep going in this direction and try to run it back this year for another Super Bowl. But that's another one. I got to see that before I really believe, because I mean, you look in the Rams, they were right there last year. I mean, you one thing goes different, and we could be talking about the Rams being the Super Bowl winners instead of the Seahawks. But you're talking about the Giants. I saw this earlier today, a story of how impressive Arvell Reese has been in camp for the Giants. Supposedly he has really been turning heads, and they think they've really got themselves something in the rookie linebacker.
I saw the same thing, and they want Abdul Carter to make that big step up from last year, and a lot of younger players they've drafted very high and pretty well.
Yeah. No, they've done a really nice job in the draft. And so, yeah, it's just, can those guys, take those next steps and continue to develop into those, big-time players that we all kind of thought they were out of college and into the draft.
Do you think Seattle let the Super Bowl MVP walk because mostly the return of a healthy Zach Charbonnet, or they thought that might have been a one-hit wonder Super Bowl, a Tim Smith performance?
I think probably having Charbonnet back. I mean, it seems like they really like Charbonnet.
Kansas City, the beneficiary of that.
Yeah, no, they are. I mean,
and Kenneth Walker's bank account.
Sure, no, Kenneth Walker's great, but I think you go back and you look at since they've had both those guys in there, it's been very much split. When Charbonnet was healthy, Charbonnet missed a lot of time last year with injuries, and I think they kind of looked at it and said, we had a lot of success with two running backs, and, they really like Charbonnet. And so we don't want to overpay on this guy when we really like our other running back, when maybe we can just go and find a replacement for him. And so, they pass on paying him all that money. He goes to Kansas City, and, they went out there and drafted a running back in the first round. And, obviously Hard Knocks is, that's right. Hard Knocks is going to make everybody look really good. But, they were talking about him like he could be the next big thing up in Seattle and could, really, really fill that role nicely.
And that's a big way to save money. And they didn't want to spend all that for Kenneth Walker. Yeah. And I think they think the secret of their success last year, whether it was for Darnold or either running back or Smith and Jig, but wide receiver, whatever, was that offensive line. It started with them. And I first kind of started noticing it around Christmas. Just look what that Seattle O-line's doing.
Yeah, no, it's really good. And I mean, you just mentioned something else about all of those weapons that they have, and obviously a great O-line just helps that as well. But Jackson Smith and Jigba, you got Cooper Kupp out there. You've got multiple running backs. You've got a quarterback that over the last couple of years has looked like a very steady, reliable quarterback, not what he looked like the first half of his career. And so it very much feels like they're going into it with the approach of, we're a team, we're a whole. It's not one single person that got us over the hump and made us who we were. And so I thought it was a very smart idea to let Kenneth walk. And obviously, like you said, we'll see what he does at Kansas City.
I know every coach and staff and organization, they're trying to develop something, and they don't want just wanton rule breaking. But I can't imagine to a veteran player, even for these two teams that aren't very good, Carolina and Arizona, even if they had bed check or a curfew tonight, for that veteran player that maybe came in 20 minutes after curfew being in that big of trouble, because wouldn't a valid excuse be whatever ops guy or whoever it is checking it, it's not even a full-time assistant coach, you're really going to find me and I'm not even going to play a down tomorrow night?
Yeah, I think
I'm not even taping my ankles tomorrow night.
Yeah, I think the way you started that was the right way, even if they have a check tonight. I mean, they might just say, hey, we'll see y'all tomorrow, just
it sounds like
ready.
Something the Raiders in the day would have done at the Hall of Fame game.
Oh, absolutely.
Here's the curfew. Be here for when the bus leaves tomorrow afternoon.
We're leaving at this time. Be here and we'll see you then. And enjoy Canton, Ohio.
Big John Matuzak going, anybody blood alcohol under 15, you don't get on the bus tomorrow afternoon.
Go. Yeah, that's exactly right. So now I'm excited for it. They've already announced the starters: Carson Beck for the Cardinals, Kenny Pickett for the Panthers, and we'll see who else plays. Obviously, Jeremiah Love being the top pick. I'm sure we'll see at least a little bit of him tomorrow night. Probably won't see a ton of him, but no, should be a lot of fun. I know you mentioned yesterday.
About 2 carries for Love?
Yeah, I would say maybe one drive, maybe 2 if we're lucky, and then get him out of there and see everybody else. But you also mentioned Haynes King. He's the third string right now for Carolina, so we'll see a lot of him.
I want to see playing time or healthy, and just in conversation about Walter Nolan.
Yeah,
it took a long time for him to get in there last year. He gets in and was a big hit, and then was out again.
Yeah, no, that's another guy. I mean, I haven't looked much at these two rosters, but that's kind of the fun thing about preseason, especially the Hall of Fame game, because
it really is.
Preseason, I don't know how many people are really locked
he's
into
a Panther,
the different.
huh?
I don't know how many people are really watching. But when it's on NBC and it's the first taste of NFL football, everybody's tuned in. And so, you spend the next 3 hours going, oh, I didn't know he was there. Oh, I remember watching him at whatever school last year. So, it makes it
our
really
different
fun.
team last year.
Sure, no, it makes it a lot of fun.
A week from tomorrow night, 6 games, and then games on Friday, games on Saturday next week. So it's really getting here.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun, and we'll be out at Bangers tomorrow before that game, and I know Johnny Radio's planning on going down there and playing some pickleball, so we might have to put him on air to give us some picks for the Hall of Fame game tomorrow.
I'm telling you could go to Bangers, never touch a pickle or a ball or a racket or anything else, and could game watch down there.
Oh yeah,
their bar area would be enough fun for you to have your, like around town, there are groups of, I don't know if there are any Cardinal fans, don't know about Panther fans, but a lot of Raider, Steeler, Cowboy clubs around town. That should be your Sunday afternoon game watching spot.
Yeah, no, it would be make it a lot of fun. And so, excited to get down there tomorrow afternoon, but if Johnny Radio's in the area, we might have to get some plays from him for the Hall of Fame game. I know we'll have them, so maybe he'll be nice enough to share with us.
We appreciate John.
Yes, we do. So no, that'll be a blast tomorrow as we get ready for this Hall of Fame game. But let's go ahead and get to another break, and when we return, it'll be time for Big Number of the Day.
Start your day with Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10, right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. Do you know what Penny Hardaway and I have in common? We should both be in that building celebrating the best basketball players of all time. Of course, I'll have to buy a ticket to get in, but he should already be there. But seriously, we both surround ourselves with the best people we can find. We work hard to achieve our goals, and we are both among the best in our respective fields. At Fiveash, we can't win titles or get national awards, but what we can and do strive to do is give 100% of ourselves to give you the best product possible and one you can be proud of. So if you need a roof, siding, or gutters, give us a call at 901-367-0050, and we will do everything we can to provide you the best of everything. Fiveash Roofing. Fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
High-quality meat, unbeatable freshness, and a family-style commitment to care, that's the Heartland difference. Heartland Steak Co. is your go-to source for premium Midwest meats, delivered straight to your door. Whether you're hosting a backyard barbecue, planning weeknight dinners, or giving someone the gift of Midwest flavor, Heartland Steak Co. is perfect for any occasion. Hand-cut and hand-picked from the Heartland. Our premium selection includes USDA prime and choice beef, all-natural pork, chicken, and more. Save time and money with easy online ordering and expertly prepared Grillmaster packages, freezer filler bundles, holiday gift boxes, all flash frozen for peak freshness. Go to heartlandsteakco.com and use promo code BURGERS to get 2 free 4-count packages of premium steak burgers with orders over $149.99. Heartland Steak Co., your one-stop shop for straight-to-your-door Midwest meat. Taste the Heartland difference at heartlandsteakco.com. Again, that's code BURGERS to get 2 free 4-count packages of premium steak burgers with orders over $149.99.
The FedEx St. Jude Championship returns to TPC Southwind August 12th through 16th. Don't miss your chance to watch the PGA Tour's top players compete in the first event of the FedEx Cup playoffs. To see who will move on. New in 2026, fans now have access to free food and non-alcoholic beverages through the Grounds Plus ticket. Be a part of Tennessee's only PGA Tour event and witness the unmatched competition of the playoffs. Buy tickets at FedExChampionship.com.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Landers Ford in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
And she says, I wish that I could be like the cool
Big Daddy.
Hello, Big Brand. It's a guy, he wants to be big, then he gets big, he doesn't want to be big anymore, then he gets small, but the suit's too big.
Big Daddy.
The big boy.
You're a big guy. I think she's trying to pull a fast one on Big Daddy.
The big number of the day.
All right, well, before we get to big number of the day, I just saw this. We were talking NFL in our last segment, and I did not see this before we started that segment because it's just kind of broke in the last 45 minutes or so. But 2 tweets from Adam Schefter. The first one says, Aaron Donald worked out today for the Los Angeles Rams per the NFL Wire. He then quote tweeted that and said, Aaron Donald wanted to do a workout in a football helmet. And even though he did not wear pads during it, he used Rams team equipment at their facility during training camp, requiring them to report this activity to the NFL. So,
and to the Players Association, I'm sure.
Sure.
And he's going to sign. He's going to play.
Yes,
and you know what his curfew is going to be all year?
He won't have one.
Kickoff.
Yes, he will not have a curfew at all. I just love that. The funniest thing ever, that Adam Schefter tweets that out. Hey, Aaron Donald worked out today for the Rams, and then had to quote tweet it and make it sound like, well, yeah, he just wanted to work out on his own, and he just needed some equipment. He was just in the area, and so he just was working out there. But it had to be reported. No, we all know what's going on. You don't need to hide anything. I'm sure somebody called him from the Rams and said, "What are you doing? Do not put that out there on social
Y'all
media."
had Aaron Donald's number?
Yeah, literally. And so I'm sure they said, hey, take that down or do something to it. And so he quote tweeted it and tried to fix it. But I think everybody can read through that. So Aaron Donald to the Rams coming soon is what it appears.
Stafford stay upright. I don't know how they don't win.
I mean, they're so close last year. And the fact that
really last 2 years. Remember the game in the snow up at Philly?
Yeah. No, they've been right there. And so you look at what they've done, what they've added, and what they could potentially add. It really, really feels hard to believe that they're not going to be one of the last teams standing in the NFL this year. All right, my big number today is the number 33. We talked about the Boston Red Sox earlier. My number has to do with the Boston Red Sox. The Red Sox went from 38-48 on July 3rd to 61-51 after last night's win. Boston needed just 33 games to go from 10 games under 500 to 10 games over 500. The only teams in Major League Baseball history to do so in a shorter span of days are the 1978 Pirates, who did it in 26 days, and the 1916 Browns, who did it in 32 days. How about that? Old Browns reference.
Old Browns.
I got nothing. But good for them. Good for them.
78 Pirates, that was the year before We Are Family.
Yeah.
I don't remember that. The Cubs are in a great run.
Mm-hmm. No, they are. They are. Did they end up winning today? Is that game gone final? I jinxed them, so I apologize.
They did. 7-6.
Okay, good, because it was 7-1 when we were talking about it earlier, and I was kind of talking about it like, oh yeah, they definitely have this one in the bag. And next thing I know, I see the
even better.
Ticker.
It broke the Dodgers' heart.
Yeah, well, yeah. I thought I was about to break Cubs fans' heart, but 5 runs for the Dodgers in the 8th inning to try to come back.
I'm glad you reeled me in on that end game over on the Rockies.
What was the final score?
4-0.
It felt like a
base runners everywhere.
Like
though.
A lot of runs.
I mean, left base runners all over the place.
Oh, man.
That didn't get you to a pay window, though.
No, it doesn't. No, it
Could
does
you take
not.
a ticket up there and go, look, we had a lot of base runners. Shouldn't I at least get my cash back?
It was close. In
How does
theory,
that go over?
I mean, that was like, who was it, Cleveland last year? It was like, the analytics, we won those games. I mean, you could do that. Yeah.
Shouldn't you at least get like a free drink coupon or something for that?
Give me like a free bet or something, you know?
Yeah, I mean, anything?
Just something.
Nothing.
The 78 Pirates went, I just had it, we're at 88-73, finished second in the NL East.
Didn't even play 162. Look at that.
How about that? So, interesting. Interesting. That's at least what
Second
Baseball
in
Reference
the
says.
East to the Phillies.
I'm going to say yes. Yes, they were.
And Phillies
Yes,
lost
they
to the
were.
Dodgers in the LCS,
Sure
and the
did.
Yankees beat the Dodgers in the World Series for back-to-back.
Phillies 90-72 that year. How about that?
Well, they played 162.
They sure
I
did.
had that. My big number is 6. There are 6 SEC teams that have produced Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks. Quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Please, everybody hear all that. Quarterbacks. Bama with Bryce Young. Auburn with the late, great Pat Sullivan and Cam Newton. Florida with Steve Spurrier, Danny Werfel, and Tim Tebow. LSU with Joe Burrow and Jaden Daniels. Oklahoma, not in the SEC, then when they won it with Jason White, Sam Bradford, and Baker Mayfield. This is all quarterbacks. And Kyler Murray at OU. Texas A&M with Johnny, of course. Texas, they've never won one with a quarterback.
Wow.
Where's my guy that told me Vince Young won it? I still ain't got my apology from him, have I?
Apology. You might get another call today. I don't think you are getting an apology.
They've won it with Earl Campbell, and they've won it with Ricky Williams. But Arch Manning, the pressure is on him.
Yep.
And we'll talk with Craig Way, the voice of the Texas Longhorns, about it. Like I was saying about the Rams, I've said it a couple of times about Texas.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how they don't this year. I mean, they are loaded.
Yeah, no, it's just
this is a
it's built
beautiful
for 'em.
team.
No, it is. It is. It's built for them. And if they don't win it this year, I mean, that is going to be or I shouldn't say win it. If they are not, a massive run, a very deep run, it's going to be an absolute failure.
I don't think with 12-team playoff you can put on somebody win it or bust anymore. Those days are over.
Yeah, it feels like those days are behind us, but they
And
need to do
like
something.
college basketball, even for the big boys in college basketball, just getting to a final. I know North Carolina, Kansas, Duke, Kentucky, and some others think it's a birthright, but just getting to a Final Four, that's worth a lot.
No, it absolutely
And
is.
for everybody else, it's worth $1 billion.
Oh, no question about it. I saw earlier, I was trying to remember who I saw post this earlier. Bud Elliott from CBS Sports earlier today, he did his own preseason top 25. He put Texas at 7th, but then at the bottom, he put, if I trusted Sark, Texas is number 2. I just love that. Put that at the bottom. It comes down to I don't trust Sark, and so I'm not going to put him at 2. I'm going to put him at 7.
Well, I kind of brought that up yesterday. If they don't have a great year, what's the blame game?
Yeah.
Sark, Arch, or Muschamp? It was with Brent Beard yesterday, wasn't it?
That's right. Yeah.
If you get to a Final Four, I don't think it's blame game necessary.
No. But I mean, if it's an early exit or maybe not at all, then yeah, I think Sark gets all of that blame.
Even a quarterfinal loss in a style that Georgia lost in last year.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think the knives should be out.
No, the only time in the quarterfinals I think that you could get some of that, if it's just an all-out blowout, if you just look like you absolutely do not belong on the field, then sure. Then
now,
maybe
if Texas is a 5 seed and they lost at home in the campus games to the 12, then here comes fire and brimstone.
Yeah, no, I think you could definitely.
But that's not happening.
No, it's definitely not. Right now on what app am I on? DraftKings. CJ Carr has the best odds for the Heisman Trophy, plus 700. Arch Manning right behind him at plus 750. Other SEC quarterbacks, Trinidad Chambliss plus 1300. That puts him at 6th best odds. Sam Levitt with 10th best odds at plus 2,000. Marcel Reed right behind him at plus 2,500. John Mateer also plus 2,500. And Keelan Russell plus 2,800 is kind of the top 4 or 5 SEC quarterbacks.
He's my breakout guy, remember?
Yeah, he is. He absolutely is. So, it'll be interesting to see how it falls out. But definitely could see maybe a SEC quarterback win it this year.
Yeah, but the SEC's going for winning it all.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. No, they definitely are.
But Big Ten got both last year.
They sure did.
Heisman and it all.
They sure did. So maybe they can flip the script this year, and you can see them, the SEC, taking home both. But we need to get to another break. When we return, we were just talking the Texas Longhorns. We're going to talk more about Texas football. Craig Way, the voice of the Texas Longhorns, he joins us next on Sports Time.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Take your basketball skills to the next level at Shoot 360 Memphis. Shoot 360 is a revolutionary basketball training facility that combines cutting-edge technology with gamification and provides instant, objective feedback with hands-on, one-on-one expert coaching. And now, introducing Shoot 360 Cordova, a newly renovated 50,000 square foot facility with 2 NBA regulation-size courts, 3 high school-size courts, and 4 shooting bays with Shoot 360 technology. Memberships are now on a monthly basis. And yes, you can become a member at both locations. Whether you're an aspiring young talent, NBA player, or looking for a unique workout, all skill levels are welcome at Shoot 360 Memphis to learn proper shooting and passing techniques, improve fundamentals, and gain a competitive edge while having fun. Shoot 360 Memphis, now in Cordova and Collierville. Call them today at 901-779-3176. That's 901-779-3176. The future of basketball training is here. Shoot 360 Memphis.
Napa Cafe celebrates 28 years in 2026.
Hi, I'm Glenda Hastings, owner of Napa Cafe, and I want to thank you for making us part of your dining experiences. Treat yourself tonight with a delightful dinner. Maybe start with an appetizer like our baked sweet piquilla peppers stuffed with goat cheese and mozzarella, finish with basil pistou, and move on to one of our cozy dishes like the double chocolate stout braised boneless beef short ribs with tonkatsu sauce and creamy mashed potatoes. Or a fresh seafood dish like our pan-roasted ginger-buttered sea bass with cilantro soy vinaigrette. I get hungry just talking about it. Don't forget about dessert, our famous sweet buttermilk pie with brown sugar sauce, or drink your dessert with one of our signature dessert cocktails like the lemon cheesecake martini, lemony, icy, frothy, and dusted with graham cracker crumbs. Napa Cafe, open Wednesday through Saturday for dinner starting at 5 o'clock. For reservations, visit our website at napacafe.com. We can't wait to serve you.
Come join in and celebrate 28 years of Napa Cafe in 2026.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. But at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited everything for just $35 a line. That's $35 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. Switch to the carrier ranked #1 in network coverage and customer satisfaction and get unlimited everything for just $35 a month. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit Consumer Cellular online or in-store today. Price includes $5 credit for autopay and e-billing. Taxes and fees apply. Data speeds reduced after 35 gigabytes. Rankings done by 2025 ACSI survey.
This traffic brought to you by Old Dominick Distillery. Come for the spirits, stay for the experience. Cheers to Memphis. Learn more at olddominick.com.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. Cranking it pretty good now, right where you would expect on I-40 East over here passing Warford, Hollywood, as that volume of traffic increases, especially trying to get south of Memphis right now. 55 pushing down into South Haven, into DeSoto County. Lots of radar south of Memphis this afternoon on the interstate. Be careful. Bridal season is here. Shop local right now and save all that money at Weimer's Jewelry, 7525 Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studios, we are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis. Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Dobbs Brothers Chevrolet at 7450 Highway 64 in Bartlett. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Come with me now. Come with me now.
Back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you as we start our third and final hour on this Wednesday afternoon. We're going to talk some Texas Longhorns here in a couple of minutes when Craig Way joins us. But before we get to that, let me remind you about our third hour sponsor. It is Dobbs Brothers Chevrolet. The Dobbs family, an old established name, is back in the car business in Memphis. Dobbs Brothers Chevrolet, located at 7850 Highway 64 in Bartlett, offering a full selection of new Chevrolets and quality used cars to meet every need and budget. Head out there and check out the beautiful new vehicles like the 2026 Chevy Silverado 1500 with its Turbo Max engine, off-road capability, and advanced technology on the interior. While you're there, make sure take a look at the 2026 Chevy Traverse with a 328 horsepower, 2.5-liter turbocharged engine and a massive 17.7-inch touchscreen on that interior, or the 2026 Chevy Equinox, a redesigned, rugged meets modern style vehicle with a 1.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder gas engine. At Dobbs Brothers Chevrolet, it's fully transparent pricing, no hidden fees, no games, and they cover all your needs with their service department. Dobbs Brothers Chevrolet welcomes you to a new way of providing excellent customer service. Head out there to Dobbs Brothers Chevrolet in Bartlett at 7850 Highway 64, open Monday through Saturday from 8:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. You can go online and view those vehicles at DobbsBrothersChevy.com. Make sure you get out there, see them in person, test drive them today at Dobbs Brothers Chevrolet of Bartlett.
Texas always gets everybody's best shot, don't they? Whether they're preseason ranked like they were last year, or not, because you're always playing against that hook'em, that drum, that tradition, that band, that fight song.
Yeah.
And now this year they got a team that everybody better be throwing their best shot at them or they're going to get smoked.
Yeah, I mean, we always, talk about, Texas being back, and we talked earlier about Notre Dame and Alabama, two of those massive brands.
Texas is back.
And they definitely are, but we talked about those big brands in college football. Texas is one of the biggest brands in college football, and so when you're one of those big brands, yeah, you're going to get everybody's best shot, especially with the team they have this year. They're definitely going to get everybody's best shot. Well, we got to talk the Longhorns, and joining us now, the voice of the Texas Longhorns, Craig Way. He joins us now. Craig, thanks so much for joining us. I know a lot of excitement for this Texas team. Where are you at with this team? I mean, what is the excitement level around the state of Texas and for you about this upcoming season?
Well, I think, and it's good to be on with you guys, I think the excitement around the state of Texas is directly proportional to the one of many contending schools in the state of Texas. If you're out west on the South Plains in Lubbock, they're fired up about Texas Tech defending its Big 12 title, and then of course if you're 90 miles over to the east of us over in College Station, Texas A&M is all worked up about their chances as well. So even Houston is a dark horse pick, I think, to maybe crash the playoff party with what they have coming back. So there's a lot of excitement, I think, to answer your question, all the way around. But for Longhorn fans, certainly they feel like, last year there was a big step forward taken in the second half of the season after disappointment in the front half of the season. And the way they finished was to finish very strong, both collectively and obviously also for Arch Manning individually. So I think there's a lot of things that they're looking forward to as a result of it.
Craig, when I look at this roster, and I've said it a couple of times, many times over the since SEC Media Days, it really hit me like a thunderbolt. There's no way you guys can miss. This team is loaded. I trust Sark. I trust Muschamp. I trust Arch. And I trust you to call all the action. You're going to have a great year. There's no way around it.
Well, I would agree with you. That old thing that everybody, that big if that everybody always has about staying healthy and all that. And if they are, then I think you'll see some really exciting moments. There are some question marks about this team, some in the secondary, some in a couple of the linebacking spots. I think the offensive line will be good. They've got a lot of people back, but there's still a question mark or two. And how will the running game improve? And they need it to improve, well, with the influx, obviously, of, having Malik Brown and having Hollywood Smothers come in. I think they feel like they've addressed that area, obviously, and having Cam Coleman. He leads a really talented receiving core. And then there's Arch, so, on the offensive side. And there's enough, I think, leadership coming back for this football team as well that can kind of point him in the right direction. So the signs look really good if they're able to step forward and perform as many hope and feel that they might.
Bryant can attest at SEC Media Days I talked about, to see Arch and to see him over, having watched him a lot of his life, how big he's gotten, the work he's put in to get big. We were just talking Heisman Trophy odds, and C.J. Carr, the grandson of Coach Carr, he's done the same thing for Notre Dame. And I didn't realize, but when he sat down with Marty and McGee, the first thing Marty Smith said to him, he said, "You've gotten gigantic." He's really put the work in, hadn't he?
Yeah, he has. And remember, he also had that off-season procedure as well. Had a little off-season surgery thing, but came through it fine and has been able to work very hard. He had a moment during the summer where he went down to New Orleans with some offensive linemen and backs and receivers, and they all got together down there and, had that kind of fellowship that you look forward to with a player doing stuff in the off season. And he got to ingratiate them a little bit and introduce them into some Cajun cooking and stuff like that. So I think all of those were growth moments for that offensive group. And yes, you're right. He has grown. He has gotten a little bigger, a little thicker, and not at the expense of losing speed too, because we've seen him be able to take off and do what he did, like he did against Michigan in the Citrus Bowl, and like he's done a couple other times against Texas A&M and some other teams where he could really put his legs to good use.
I promise you, his granddad told me when he was in 11th grade, he said he runs more like me and less like Peyton and Eli.
Yeah, and that the front part of that, as you know, Brett, that's the compliment there, that he runs more like granddad, like Archie.
Yeah.
And if you were to say, well, he runs more like Peyton and Eli, that you kind of get away from the compliment a little bit. And Arch will laugh along with that and talk about that as well. But you're right. There's a lot of the things he does, a lot of the intangible things he does that do remind a lot of the old timers and stuff of what his granddad did. And he does have those good on the field adjustment moments, like Peyton and like Eli had. And when you have that kind of guidance from those kinds of family members, it can only help, I would think, and it certainly has helped him.
No, that's the perfect quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can really meld into one who can be a big difference maker for the football team in conference games and on the national scene.
Mm-hmm. Well, talking about Arch Manning on the field, what are some things that you look forward to seeing from him as kind of growth and improvement from last year?
Well, I know folks like to point out the footwork thing. That was something that he had to work on a lot. I think, the decision making that he did improved dramatically in the second half of the season. And while it might be pretty easy for some folks to say, oh, yeah, well, he's got to be a little bit better in his decision making, I think he already did make some big strides, what we saw down the stretch when they were winning games, and what he had to lead them in some tough moments. Now, it would be easy, and let me also add understandable for some folks to point out, well, they struggled to beat Kentucky in overtime. They struggled to beat Mississippi State in overtime. They did. They did win both of those games, and both were on the road. And Arch had a lot to do with making sure that they were able to come out on top the way he led the team down the field. So I think those moments helped him in his decision-making and also helped continue to mold him as a leader, because his teammates are certainly looking to him for that.
Yeah. You mentioned the defense earlier, maybe some question marks on that side of the ball. We know defensive coordinator Will Muschamp coming over from Georgia. What have you seen from him since he has taken over with that Texas defense, and kind of what do you expect from the defense as a whole under him?
Yeah, it's the Will Muschamp I remember, the one who was here the first time during the great run under Mack Brown in the 2000s, when that very, very aggressive attacking style of football. And it's not to say they didn't have that in the past, but I think it between the familiarity with the system and the veterans who were there playing in it, even the ones who came in, I think there's a collective cooperative understanding of what Muschamp wants and what those guys can believe in themselves and expect of themselves when they go on the football field. It's a very aggressive and going to be attacking defensive unit.
Yeah, you mentioned maybe some questions about secondary. I know a easiest way to make a questionable secondary really good is be that big and nasty up front that Texas is going to be. Who in the world is blocking? Who in the world is blocking Colin Simmons?
Yeah, and he's obviously going to be on already on a lot of the national award watches and the defensive award watches and all of those kinds of things. He's a guy, and there's an example. That's a great example, Brett, of somebody who will make the transition. When he first came in, and I did a couple of his high school state championship games for television as well, and I saw it when he was playing in high school. The head hunting type of mentality he had and was just ferocious, and how he went after the quarterback. As a true freshman a couple of years ago, he continued to do that. It was a lot of see ball, hit ball, that type of thing. Last year, his sack numbers and pressures went down a little bit, but he learned to play the run better. And now what Muschamp and what the coaching staff overall are trying to do with Colin is to get him to combine the best elements of both. And so far what they've seen, what they saw in spring practice, and of course today was the first practice as well and going through the drills, but they like what they've seen from Colin Simmons. And he's another one of those guys who was kind of soft-spoken, whom they're, counting on to be a leader this year for them.
Greg, you have called countless innings of baseball, and you've seen it happen. You've seen pitchers learn how to pitch. Did he have to learn how to play defense?
I think so. I mean, like I said, he was more just kind of unleashed in high school to pressure the quarterback and coming off the edge. And I think he had to, they did not want to take that aggressive nature away from him because it was pretty impressive to watch. But with every aggressive bit comes, as you know, the importance of the book level technique of what you've got to do and making sure you're in the right spots and making sure you read what you're supposed to be reading and not just going off at the snap of the ball. Because if you do that at this level, in this conference, you're going to get burned. And I think he did learn a couple of lessons about that last year. At the same time, becoming a better defender against the rush. I asked him at SEC Media Days about that, the counterbalance. And he said, it's just being more attentive and being more tuned in all areas to be a better, run stopper on the edge, to be able to get off blocks without losing the pressure and the real trauma that you can cause to a quarterback if you're coming off the edge like he's capable of doing.
Talking to Craig Way, talking to Craig Way, the voice of the Texas Longhorns. Should be a big season for Texas. We talked about a lot of these skill positions on the offense, but you bring back 3 starters on the offensive line. It's got to feel good, especially in this age of transfer portal and NIL. Bringing back not only a starting quarterback, but bringing back that many guys on the offensive line.
With one of the best in the country, I think, in Trevor Goosey at left tackle. He's the anchor of the group, no question about it. And, it was an offensive line that last year had only one returning starter. And so there was a real learning curve for a lot of the younger offensive linemen last year. And so they had those struggles early. They really struggled against Ohio State, obviously, in the opener. They struggled to protect Arch in the game at Florida that they lost, although Arch did an awful lot in the second half to try to bring them back into the football game. They learned some hard lessons, but they also made a lot of strides and made a lot of progress. And against a good Michigan defense in the Citrus Bowl, they really stepped up well and made the offense all the more explosive for that. So, yes, having the returning guys who got that School of Hard Knocks education last year in the first year on the offensive front, I think helped them out an awful lot in their preparation for this season.
You mentioned the narrow win at Kentucky, the overtime narrow win at Starkville. But the key part of that, Craig, is winning. That's the object, isn't it? But do we have to break it down and dissect it so much?
Well, you know what this league's all about. You know, the big debate last year, Brett, when Sark was talking about how his team deserved to be in the playoff, and it was two sides of an argument. Sark pointed out that, Texas schedule's tough. Ohio State, after playing Michigan the year before, they got Ohio State here this year, and then they got Michigan coming back in the year after. And then tentatively, and I think it's still going to stay on the schedule, home and home in Notre Dame. coming up toward the latter part of the decade. So he points out that, and then, of course, the counter-argument from everybody else around the league was, yeah, but you lost to Florida. If you hadn't lost to Florida, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Sark's rebuttal to that is, you're exactly right. And if we had not played Ohio State and played a low-level Division I FBS opponent, we'd have finished 10-2, and we wouldn't be having this conversation. So it just depends on how you look at it as well. And what Sark has said is the important thing now is to make sure you don't have to have those kinds of conversations at the end of the year. Make sure you're playing your tough schedule, playing a 9-game conference schedule, which everybody knows is going to be a grinder in the SEC, and handle your business, both at home, on the road, and against your rivalry opponents like Oklahoma and Texas A&M.
Craig, 2 years ago, Ole Miss playoff dreams died at the Swamp. Last year, Texas's did at the Swamp. Here's my prediction for this year. Oklahoma, they go to the Swamp November 7th. They don't know what's going to hit them.
Well, I'll tell you, they have a tough November overall in looking at their schedule. Oklahoma's got a very difficult schedule. That game on October 10th in Dallas always, as you know, Brett, it always means the world to both of the fan bases, the Red River rivalry. It means so much to both sides. And I would add to that this year, when you look at October 10th, yeah, you got Texas OU. You also have Georgia at Alabama. There are two mammoth games on Saturday, October 10th, and I think the winners of those two games are going to be in the driver's seat to wind up in Atlanta.
Yeah, I think October 10th is the best day of the year for college football. Just that day, if you were just going to maybe to one weekend, and if it's not, November 7th is. Craig Way, the voice of the Texas Longhorns, with us. Craig, are you still one of those guys that starts in September with football and you go all the way through the spring doing men's basketball, women's basketball, and all the baseball? Are you still trying to do all that?
Oh, man.
Oh yeah, and weekly high school games for television and the high school state championships, because as you know, high school football means an awful lot in this state. 16 million people a year attend a high school football game in the state of Texas, and they'll draw over 250,000 fans total at Jerry World in Arlington for those state championship games. And I've had the privilege of the last 30 years to be able to call out of those 12 state championship games. I usually work 7 or 8 or sometimes 9 of the 12, and really enjoy it. It's a labor of love, and I really enjoy it an awful lot. So yes, the answer to your question is all of the above. Go ahead and give me the botanist platter. I'll take it with all that stuff on it.
All I want to know is, where do you vacation and how does it replenish you so?
Well, as it so happened, I just returned a few weeks ago from it. Right. Every summer, I grew up in North Carolina, and every summer I take my family to the coast down right near where North Carolina and South Carolina come together, and I just kind of rent a house for a couple of weeks, put my feet up, and eat far too much barbecue and seafood, and have a Johnny Walker Black on the rocks or two, and a cigar or two, and just enjoy vacation for about 2.5 weeks. And then when that's done, I'm ready to get it going all over again. So I've already done that part. So now we're ready to get it going again for 2026.
Wow, man, that is a sprint. And heck, talking basketball, Memphis will be down there this year for a non-conference game against Texas, and it feels like Sean Miller is going to have a pretty good team on his hands.
Yeah, he's got only the one real returning starter who contributed, the big man in the middle, Matasoka Titus. Yeah. But he has some excellent transfers coming in, like Isaiah Johnson, a true point guard coming in from Colorado as well. David Punch, a power forward, transferring in from TCU. And then he's got two just fabulous freshmen. One is Austin Gooseby, who's a combo guard. Austin is the younger brother of the Longhorns' outstanding offensive left tackle, Trevor Gooseby.
Oh, wow.
He's his younger brother, and was a 5-star basketball recruit. And then just being able to get those kinds of caliber players into the system means so much for this program. And what Sean did in the teaching lessons really took hold late in the regular season. And even though they lost to Ole Miss in that first round of the SEC tournament, they turned it around, won the first 4 game over NC State in Dayton, then went out to Portland, Oregon as the 11th seed. They beat the 6th seed BYU. Then they beat the 3 seed Gonzaga and took the 2 seed Purdue to the wire before losing by a point. So that's a building block. And the guys he has coming in this year, yeah, they I think can be a contender in the SEC.
All right, I know you don't want to make anybody mad, but since you've joined the SEC, give me the football place, the men's basketball, the women's basketball, and the baseball place you have visited that you've enjoyed the most.
Well, the key there, Brett, is the words I have visited, because I haven't been to every place yet, because Texas hasn't played in every place. Not in all sports. Like, for example, in baseball, for my first conference series was at Dudy Noble, and it was just absolutely fabulous. Of course, and I did get to call a super regional in Oxford back in 2005 that went to the wire, and it was great. But I haven't been to Alabama. I didn't get to go to Auburn to do baseball because I was on the road with basketball in the Sweet 16, so I missed out on that trip. Did get to go to Tennessee, really liked it a lot. And I've been to Alex Fox before in LSU, really enjoyed that a lot. Also, College Station's always a special place when Texas plays there. And look at Oklahoma coming and winning the national championship after Texas swept them during the regular season there. I haven't had a chance to go to Foley Field yet in Athens, although I think that's coming this year. And I did really enjoy the opportunity to go to Vanderbilt and call a series there as well. So it's great venues there. Basketball, as you know, going to Rupp Arena, something special. I love going to Knoxville and seeing my old pal Rick Barnes for when they play Tennessee there. Florida is just crazy. They're going down there for basketball. Even South Carolina was pretty lit up, especially when I went to do the women's game between South Carolina and Texas. And that was a great game when they played in the regular season, when the Gamecocks won by 3. And then they met the SEC championship in Greenville, and Texas came out like a house on fire and blew their doors off and won the SEC tournament title. And like South Carolina, went on to the Final Four. So there's been some great venues, and I love visiting all of those venues. And I'm looking forward to calling a football game in Death Valley this year for the first time ever. So I haven't had that opportunity to do that. So I am looking forward to that.
That'd be awesome.
But here's the big last question, Craig, for the men's basketball game in December in Austin. What's going to be the wager between you and Dave Woloshin? The friendly wager. We don't violate any NC rules or anything, but the friendly wager between two good friends. What's it going to be?
You know what I told Wolo when I was on with him a couple of weeks ago? I said, let's not do a wager. Let's just go to dinner the night before. We'll just do that. And he was agreeable to that idea. Because both teams, that could be a lot of fun, that game on December 16th.
Sure could be. Yeah, it will be a blast. Craig, thanks so much for joining us. I know it's going to be fun football season. Hopefully we can catch up with you again during the season, certainly before that basketball game against the Tigers.
You bet. We'll look forward to it. Thanks, fellas.
Thanks, Craig.
Thank you, Craig, so much. Thank you. Craig Way, the voice of the Texas Longhorns, the year-around guy, isn't he?
Man, that is insane.
One time
it really is.
He was doing a men's NCAA tournament game in Oklahoma City.
Okay.
Then on the day off, had to do a Lady Longhorn game in Nashville. He called me, said, I'm trying to get to Craig's Barbecue in Duval's Bluff and then to the Rendezvous. Do I have enough time in between meals to make both? I said, just squeeze it in. You got plenty of time.
That's great.
Barbecue connoisseur.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, no, I mean, when he made a point to say he's eating as much barbecue as possible, I felt like, okay, this guy, Craig might know his way around the queue. So.
And I'll tell you, the game I have circled for Ole Miss this year, road game, October 24th in Austin.
Oh, absolutely.
I've been there a couple of times with Ole Miss once, and a couple of times two times with Arkansas. Yeah, 2 times with Arkansas, once to a Texas Notre Dame game in Austin.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, talking about Texas and Oklahoma, I'm going to be in Oklahoma City on the game day. On that day, I'll be in Oklahoma City. Part of me wants to pull a Bruce Marshall and wear Texas gear. I also value my life, so I might have to wear Oklahoma gear that day.
I almost suggested for the Ocean Way wager that after the Monday after the game, with all the Zoom, all the cameras we have now,
I love that.
But then I would say you got to do that after the Ole Miss game, and I didn't want that bet. I didn't want that smoke.
No. That's not. You might have to run from that smoke, but no, really, really fun having Craig on with us. Hopefully, we'll be able to talk with him again, especially if this is a big football season for them. And I mean, just talking to him, all the hype around football, all the hype around basketball already, and then Texas is usually very competitive in baseball.
Always.
It could be a fantastic year for the Longhorns.
All four sports he covers, and then his high school coverage on Friday night. That's incredible.
That's crazy.
It's almost like he's in two places at one time.
That's insane. So no, you gotta tip your cap to him. Very, very impressive stuff. But we need to get to another break, and when we return, we've got to talk about what's trending.
Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Available locally on your radio dial as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, it's easy to stay tuned to Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Moving is stressful, but Black Tie Moving can take the worry out of the process. Whether you're moving across town or across country, moving your home or your office, your personal moving concierge from Black Tie Moving will work with you to design a plan that perfectly fits your budget and needs. And they're available 24/7 to answer any questions you have. Give Black Tie Moving a call at 901-316-6196 or go to blacktiemoving.com/Memphis to get your personal, no obligation quote from the moving experts at Black Tie Moving.
You know what makes the city great? It's the extra special little things like great museums, a zoo, or parks, and golf courses. And the city of Memphis recognized that years ago, and they have made great city golf courses. All the renovations, like Galloway several years ago, the new one at Audubon, what they did to Pine Hill 90 years after it first opened is extra special. The amenities make a city, and golf courses are part of those amenities. They're terrific, and every golf course has its own championship. So if you want to play in the Galloway Championship, the Audubon Championship, even that OPO, the oldest golf tournament around, the Overton Park Open for the youth, that's going into year 80. That's how special Memphis golf is. You want to make a tee time? They made it easy modern way. Just go to memphispubliclinks.com.
The best golfers on the PGA Tour are coming to Memphis to kick off the FedEx Cup playoffs at the FedEx St. Jude Championship starting August 13th. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM will be broadcasting live at TPC Southwind throughout the day, Wednesday through Friday of tournament week, keeping you up to date with the latest tournament news. Our coverage from TPC Southwind is brought to you by Landers Ford in Collierville. Also sponsored by Sissy's Log Cabin, Canal Funeral Directors, Bangers Pickleball, and Ronnie Grisani's. It's time for the FedEx St. Jude Golf Tournament, which means it's time to celebrate at Half Shell and Forest Hill Grill. Both restaurants are teaming up all tournament week long with happy hour, food and drink specials, and giveaways all day long. After a hot day watching the golf tournament, come to Half Shell or Forest Hill Grill. Always generous portions and pours. Enjoy local draft beers, favorite beverages, and happy hour Monday through Friday from 3 to 6. Everyone is a regular here.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon, T-Dot's working with a couple of accidents out here as it continues to build through Midtown. On 240 South and South Parkway, we've watched it pick up on the 55 bridge, headed on over into Crittenden County, West Memphis, up to Marion, as it builds now south of Memphis, where there's been radar down through there a little bit earlier, through certain parts of South Haven, into DeSoto County on 55. A bridal season is here. Shop local right now at Weimer's Jewelry, 7525 Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Dobbs Brothers Chevrolet, 7450 Highway 64 in Bartlett. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you as we've got about 30 minutes left in today's show. We got to talk about what's trending, a handful of things trending this afternoon, but we mentioned it a little bit earlier in the show last night. John Rothstein reporting and then Jason Munns confirming the report. Memphis and Grand Canyon are finalizing a home-and-home series. Will start on December 11th at FedEx Forum. The return game will be next year. So another team that Memphis has added to the non-conference schedule as we're starting to get a lot more clarity on what that non-conference slate will look like.
I'm sorry.
No.
The other two games will be bye games and fairly simple, won't they?
Yeah, I assume so. I know, we mentioned it earlier, the previous report, a couple weeks ago from Jason Munns that they were trying to get one more power conference team on the schedule. It felt like it was too late to go and try to not only get a power conference team on the schedule, but to get them to come here for the first game. And so this feels like kind of the trade-off for that is, hey, go get a really good, mid-major opponent and have them come to Memphis. And then, I expect that we'll probably see the final two games probably be more bye games than anything.
It's going to be that 14-game dynamic like we used to with 13. I think 9-5, 8-6 would sort out really well.
Yeah.
Anything above 9 speaks for itself. 11 or more, no need having the conversation. You know what it does. But Bryant, so far on these teams that I see out there, there's not a pure D gimme I see.
No, it's
not Evansville, and sure not Grand Canyon.
No. It's a brutal schedule, and so I think that's why you hope that
the Tigers gonna win their share, but just that's by 20. Oh yeah, that's by 17.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
No, it's really tough
for a lot of teams playing this schedule.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so I think that's why you probably hope that the last two games they add are probably the bye games, the ones that before the season starts you can chalk up as a win. Because right now,
Tiger bankroll 21.5 favorite. That's what it's going to be.
Yeah, and that's what you want. That's exactly what you want. We're just playing, hey, do they cover or do they not cover? We know they're going to win. It's do they cover?
And with 30 seconds to play, it's going to be right around the ugly number.
Absolutely. I mean, there were a handful of games the last couple of years that you were watching until the buzzer went off.
Dozen.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, it was all the time, it felt like. Especially last year.
Tiger
those bye games
bankroll
last
coming
year.
soon.
Oh, I'm excited. Don't give me this
Connor's
excited
ready.
for it. No,
yeah.
I know Connor's ready for some Tiger bankroll. So what we know so far, again, two more non-conference games left, but according to Jason Munns, this is what has been reported. Exhibition games against Mississippi State and Arkansas, both those games set to be on the road, but Memphis is looking for a third exhibition for FedEx Forum. Opening day versus Iowa State in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Then home against VCU, at Vanderbilt, home against Louisville, home against Evansville. They'll head down to the Bahamas for two games in the battle for Atlantis. Both those games, the bracket has not been set yet, but both of those will be against power conference opponents, Wake Forest, Penn State, and Mississippi State in their group. Then against Dayton in Chicago, at Baylor, home against Grand Canyon, at Texas, and then they'll play the February game at home against Utah State. So yeah, that's a brutal schedule right there for any team.
It is, and with this team that I think's being assembled, that could be tough early. I think it will be a really good team come American time, but it's got to get started early because that's where the at-large work is really done because of this league, but will be a lot of fun. A lot of these holiday tournament brackets are coming together, and we know with the rest of this month, maybe not full release of times and everything, but into early September you will be. And if it goes like it has in the last few years, next Thursday or Friday, we may be getting Rob Fisher's artistry.
Oh, no, we absolutely will be. I was just actually about to bring that up. Mark Stein.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm glad you brought it up. It's a perfect segue. Mark Stein reporting just about 15 minutes ago that the NBA's 2026-27 schedule is on course to be announced in full next week. So sounds like the whole thing going to be out there next week. I was trying to remember.
Rob Fisher tuning up with the with the highlighters and different.
No, it's one of the best parts of the NBA offseason.
Brian, I'm telling you, an imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
Yeah.
You could do that with the Tiger schedule.
Oh yeah, no, you definitely could, and it would be fun, and I think would be really good.
Yeah, I'm just the idea guy.
You're the idea guy. I love it, and I think that's a really good one. But I was trying to think. I want to say last year during golf tournament we got like the opening date and then maybe Christmas. I think those started coming out, but I think it might have been the following week that the actual rollout of the schedule. So sounds like next week we'll have the full schedule in front of us, which will be nice and will give a lot of people a better idea of maybe what the season will look like for the Grizzlies.
The news this morning was, just way late.
Oh yeah,
even kind of know it was coming. I think we need to brace ourselves for the schedule release.
Mm-hmm.
There are going to be Nashville dates on it.
Yeah, I would not be surprised at all.
I'm not going to like it. I don't know if I lose it like I did from 301 to 313, but I'm not making any promises.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
I think we can brace ourselves for it.
Sure. I'm not very well versed with the golf scene up there, but I'm sure they've got really nice.
No, I'm talking about Grizzlies being in Nashville.
Oh, I see. Okay,
schedule,
I'm sorry. I heard you start talking golf,
okay.
and I thought you were saying.
Well, I mixed a lot
golf.
in there.
Yeah. I was having a conversation.
If the tour goes to Nashville, if the PGA tour goes to Nashville, I will.
Yeah, well, I was about to say I don't know anything about golf up in Nashville, so I didn't know if they had like a really nice.
No, I was talking. We got to brace ourselves next week on Grizzlies schedule release. There's going to be a game or two regular season in Nashville.
Yeah,
and I could freak then.
Sure. I had a conversation with somebody over the weekend, and I was in a biz. I'll be on. I'll say exactly where I was. I was at Sissy's Log Cabin this weekend. I was talking with one of the guys up there, and we were talking Grizzlies, and he asked me about Grizzlies to Nashville.
Now, Brian, you don't have to buy me that nice a Christmas gift.
Well,
I know you're shopping early.
I'm just trying to get ready early.
I know it's a great Rolex division at Sissy's, but you don't have to do that much.
It's beautiful.
You really don't.
Brett, I'm always the late guy. I'm trying to get extra early this year. So
I interrupt you. I'm sorry.
No. But no, he asked me about it. And we were talking about it. I think, and it makes it even more important that we get some sort of news about the lease. Because here's the thing. A game or two in Nashville is a lot more palatable if the lease is signed and the announcement's there, Grizzlies stay in, whatever. It's a lot more palatable than if the rollout happens and, hey, 2 or 3 games in Nashville this year, and it's just no word at all on the lease. Now, with the schedule being out next week, if we do get that, it feels very unlikely that we would have any news about the lease. But that's why I think very important to sooner rather than later have some news on the lease, because I do think some of those dates are coming.
That's a really sharp premise. You are so right about that. So because without it, if you do it in reverse, if we saw Nashville before lease, then we could freak, and we fill in the blanks.
Yes, yeah.
We fill in the speculation.
Yeah, there's nothing else.
Give us certitude.
Because if in an ideal world and the lease is already signed and the schedule comes out and it's 2 games in the dead of the season in Nashville, we all say, okay, great. The Grizzlies, they're not going anywhere. They just want to spread their footprint a little bit. Fine.
Not wild
whatever.
about it,
no,
but okay.
But whatever. At the end of the day, who cares? With the lease not signed, then it's, oh my gosh, they're actually doing it. They're going to Nashville. And so, I don't know, if those dates will be announced next week with the schedule, if that is something they're doing, if it is going to be regular season. But yeah, I think, rather be prepared for it than not prepared for it and see it out there.
And all that said, my standard proviso, the Grizzlies aren't going anywhere. Mm-hmm. They're going to sign the lease. We're going to live happily ever after. They should, and they have decorated the tree very elaborately, everything's going to be agreed to. It should. We're not going to lose them. We can't lose them. We're not going to lose them. But go ahead and do it since the money's been there now for almost 17, going on 18 months.
Yeah.
All that does is generate this angst and this aggravation.
No, it definitely does. I'll tell you one thing that has made me, and I know a couple of my buddies that I've talked with, and they kind of have the same concern. It's made them feel a little bit better. Is look at the way the whole Portland thing is being handled by the NBA and by everybody else. I mean, first off, they're not planning any dates anywhere else to take Portland up to Seattle or anything like that for a couple of games. But, I mean, Adam Silver has been very out front of, we are in those meetings. We are sending people from the NBA office to be in those rooms so we can try to get something, to happen, some movement to where they are staying in Portland. That has never been discussed here in Memphis. There's never been kind of that outward worry from Adam Silver, which that has been at the forefront of this situation in Portland. And so, I still think they're going to get it done. I still think, hopefully, I felt a lot better 2 months ago when we were having these conversations about something being announced before the start of the season. But I think they're getting close, and I think something will be announced with them staying here. So,
and I'm sad for the people in Portland, kind of being slapped around like this.
It's terrible. It really is. And, it feels like really inevitable that they're probably going to move at some point. And so,
to Raleigh?
Yeah. I think that's kind of the believed spot just because of obviously the owner's ties to Raleigh. I really don't love Raleigh as an NBA city.
It's ultimate Tobacco Road college basketball.
It absolutely is, and so I don't know. I just think there are other
Birmingham
spots
of college basketball. You wouldn't put an NFL team in Birmingham.
No, and so I mean, not that he really cares about anything like that. I don't know, but I do think there are better.
Does he
places.
care about anything? Does he have a soul? Does he bleed? Does he sleep? Does he eat?
No, he does. He does. He cares about himself and his family, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Other than that, if you don't have the same last name as him, it does not feel like. Well, first off, it doesn't feel like he cares about you, and your name's not going to be on the Stanley Cup because that's only reserved for his family members.
I just thought about something that may make heads explode. Any chance Portland moves to Nashville and we have to see Ja Morant playing in Nashville?
See, I have not thought about it that far of Ja Morant being in Nashville. I have thought about the idea of them moving Portland to Nashville. I don't know.
Maybe more than we could bear.
Yeah, that would be crazy. That would be awful. I don't see it. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't know. I don't know if you want to split up. Because it does feel like one thing that Adam Silver wants to do is spread the footprint of the Grizzlies. I don't know if he wants to split Nashville into its own and then Memphis into its own.
Right.
But when it comes to relocating, I don't know. I mean, it feels like all things might be off the table at that point. So yeah, that would be really rough if we're watching Ja Morant in Nashville with a relocated Portland team. But definitely a lot of questions out there on the sports scene here in Memphis. But let's go ahead and get to our final break of the day. And when we return, we'll wrap up today's show with Moe's Restaurant.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Welcome to Triumph Auto Sales, where you'll have a great car buying experience. Triumph Auto Sales is your #1 source of quality pre-owned vehicles ranging from lease returns to new car trades, all at huge savings. Plus, Triumph has a full array of financing options to meet your needs. Find your next car online at TriumphAutoSales.com or stop in today at 4875 Elmore Road. Triumph Auto Sales will help you get the vehicle you want at the price you need and the service you deserve. For a great car and a great experience from a local and family-owned business, visit Triumph Auto Sales.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify. apply.
The PGA Tour is back in the 901, August 12th through 16th at the FedEx St. Jude Championship. Watch the PGA Tour's top players while enjoying free food and non-alcoholic beverages with a Grounds Plus ticket. Tickets available at FedExChampionship.com.
Hey, you ready to bang? Bangers Pickleball in South Haven is now open with 10 courts, a restaurant, and 3 bars. New to pickleball? No problem. Take a free Bangers 101 class to learn. Bangers offers a great time for everyone, and there's no membership required. Bangers even has events for you non-pickleballers like mahjong, trivia, whiskey, and wine tasting. Bangers Pickleball has it all. All the rage, all the fun, all for you. Please dink responsibly at Bangers Pickleball, 6787 Snowden Lane, South Haven, Mississippi. Let's bang.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Dobbs Brothers Chevrolet at 7450 Highway 64 in Bartlett. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
When you hear the sound coming, hear the drums drumming, I want you to join together.
This is pretty cool, and we're just getting started.
Spanning the globe.
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy!
This game has always been called the world's greatest cocktail party. Do you know what is going to happen here tonight?
This is for all the biggest crunch time. You are looking live. In your life have you seen anything like that?
Crunch time between the hedges.
The ball game is over, and Memphis has its first win in 16 tries. Its first win ever against its fierce in-state rival, Tennessee.
Goodbye!
It's obviously crunch time.
Hammer, nail, coffin, this baby is over.
Well, Crunch Time is brought to you by Moe's Southwest Grill. Need a crunchy bite to eat? Head to Moe's for nachos, crunch wraps, tacos, salads, and more. Moe's.com. It's your go-to for all your taco crunch time emergencies. Well, Brett, what I learned today is that the Chicago Cubs win again and the Los Angeles Dodgers lose again. It's been a rough week for the Dodgers despite going out there and getting one of the best pitchers in Major League Baseball. They have not had a lot of success winning games. I think that was their 5th or 6th in a row with the loss today against the Chicago Cubs. 7-6, the final. The Cubs jumped out there to a massive lead and were able to hold on to get that win. But the biggest story about this and why I bring it up with what I could have learned today is because Pete Crow Armstrong didn't just homer once, he homered twice today, and he is having a fantastic season, hitting
PCA MVP?
I mean, he's definitely in the conversation. He has been fantastic this season. 288, 26 home runs, 69 RBI. He's been making a ton of plays in the outfield. He really is a fun player to watch. And I hate to say it, Brett, this Cubs team's a fun team to watch, and they're playing extremely well right now.
It really is. And here's something else I like about Pete Crow Armstrong. He knows he's good.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No,
he knows he's good.
He does not lack
He
any
knows he's
confidence.
box office.
Yes, he knows
They're
exactly how
paying
good
to
he
see
is.
me.
No, he knows exactly who he is, and he wears it well.
This might be what I fear more than what I learned, but I did learn the bombshell this morning for Rolap and Tiger, and now that makes me what I fear. And I fear that what Rory pulled last year and what he's going to pull this year could open the door for others to maybe do that this year and wide open for next year because they don't have the Hammer sponsor to fear anymore.
Yeah, I hope that's not the case, but I think you raised some really good points about how we could maybe see a little bit more of that. What I could have done without today, it's all of these injuries really across sports. Today, it was reported that 18 of the 90 players on the 49ers roster did not practice today with injuries. 18.
And the coach still isn't right from the rep.
No, you're right. I didn't even think about that, but that even, extends
I hope
to the
there's no
coaching
there. But, boy, that story, it changes a lot.
It really does.
With the police report.
It does. It feels like you said, I hope there's nothing there, but if there was something there, it has all the makings for something to be there. But, a lot of injuries for the 49ers, and now we're seeing an update on Aaron Judge as he has been reevaluated. But he said he'll be back this season. I don't know why I wouldn't be. That was always the plan, to come back sooner than later, definitely. But I never had a thought of not playing this year. So he says he will be back this year. But you always hate when you see the re-imaging and different things that he did today. Doesn't seem like he's very close, as he was cleared for light activity. Doesn't seem like he's very close, but at least he's confident that he'll play again this season.
I could have done without the timing of this. With the actual story is what I could really do without with the golf tournament in Memphis. But the timing, they could have done this 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now. It was cruel.
Yeah.
It was cruel, and I think my supposition is they didn't like being fought over the contractual terms and being held to them for next year. Anyway, after today, I'm going to resolve as best I can. I'm going to enjoy next week, and I'm going to enjoy next year. That's all I can control.
Yeah, no, I mean, it really is a shame that this news got out today, as we're so close. I've mentioned it a couple times today. It feels like there's going to be a dark cloud over the tournament this year and next year, the final 2 years of it. But I think you're right. I think, especially next week when we're out there, it's going to be great golf. We're going to enjoy it. There's going to be a champ, and it's going to be a really fun
It's
story.
no need going out there looking for a fight.
No. Now, next year, I don't know. Maybe next year.
Next year, I can't promise my behavior.
Might be a fight out there. But no, this year, I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and no need to try to think about the future when the present is here. Where are you beaming tonight?
Kind of a downer. One last time I'd beamed to Yankee Stadium for Cardinals-Yankees in the Bronx. But that's it. If we have until 2028, that's if we have baseball in 2028. I'm really worried about 27. What if it lingered into 28?
Brett, don't put that out
I know.
there.
I know.
Don't even speak it into existence. Oh, I could not have that. But that'll be a fun game later tonight, and we'll see after winning the first one if they can maybe come back around and the Cardinals win the third one. For me, how about we beam maybe to a game later in the night tonight. Casey Mize making his first start for the Padres on the road against the Diamondbacks. This Diamondbacks team 60-54 against this Padres team that's 59-55. We talked so
big
much.
For both.
Oh, it's huge for them. We talked so much before the trade deadline about which teams would be buyers, which teams would be sellers. This is a Padres team only a couple games over 500, but they kind of went all in with some of the moves they made. We'll see if it pays off for them.
8:40 first pitch for that one between Padres and D-backs. Do you call 8:40 late?
Oh, yeah, I'd say it's a late game. Yeah.
Man,
yeah.
I call it almost tomorrow.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not super late. I still have a handful of hours left in my day. But, yeah, I'd consider it a late game.
Also, Buccos at Brewers big tonight. I think should be fun. And we will watch for more injuries from the NFL, college football. You don't hear any college football camp injury news, do you?
You do not.
They keep a lid on it better than the NFL because they're just not as open.
That's exactly right. Now they've got a padlock on everything, and that includes the injury reports
and the fallout from everything involving the golf tournament.
Yes, we will. We will definitely keep an eye on that, and we'll get prepared for tomorrow night when we have the Hall of Fame game. And tomorrow, again, another reminder: we're going to be out at Bangers Pickleball tomorrow afternoon down in South Haven. Come out, say hello. I mean, we talked about it a lot. Brett mentioned it earlier. You don't even have to go out there and play pickleball. They have so much for you to do out there. Come out, enjoy it, have some fun tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. Heck, get out there a little early, say hello to us, and then watch the Hall of Fame game out there. Really excited to get down there tomorrow afternoon, but it should be a fun night. A whole bunch of baseball tonight. Handful of games already behind us with the afternoon slate of games, but still a ton of games later tonight. We mentioned a couple of them that will be really, really fun.
the Tiger basketball last two teams news can come fast too.
Definitely could, especially if both those are more bye games. That could be real quick. Let's just fill these spots in and get them out there. So yeah, a lot to keep an eye on tonight going into tomorrow. But that's all the time we have. Enjoy the rest of your night. We'll talk to you again tomorrow afternoon.